My name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. Welcome to the show! It's Monday. Is it Monday? It's Monday night. It's definitely Monday night. May 13th. Welcome. We are actually going to work on the Grinderino and the AOS 3.5 tonight. And we are actually going to fly 6 batteries. Those are the names of the stream yesterday. But there was like an hour and 45 minutes of really good questions, and then I realized that one of the screws was broken on the AOS 3.5, which took some time to fix. So we didn't really end up doing much of anything to either one of them. So we'll give it a shot again tonight. And if we can't get it done tonight, I'll just do it off the stream. Hey, no live streams for like a week and a half. There's a chance that next Monday night there will be one. Probably not. This Wednesday afternoon, I leave for some World BMX Championship that I am live flying for 3 days. Driving up on Wednesday night, and then call time on Thursday is fucking 7 a.m. So yeah, flying all day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, at this BMX thing. And then Saturday, as soon as it wraps, I'm going directly to Rampage for Saturday night, Sunday, and Monday. Depending, I usually a lot of people hang on the Monday. So hopefully that happens again this year because, yeah, I want to see people and BS with them and do a little flying as well. So I don't know. I don't know when I'll get home. Bardwell, South Carolina, which is where Rampage is held, is 3.5 hours from here. So I don't know when I'll get home Monday. I don't know in what shape I'll be in. I could be a hot mess because, like, I'm gonna eat horribly Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I won't eat that much better on Sunday. And then God only knows Monday. So I might be a train wreck by Monday night. I will try to do a live stream Monday night, 10 to 12, same time. But fair warning, I probably will be in no shape to do it. I'll also be incredibly sleep deprived. I have a really hard time falling asleep in general, let alone when I'm away from my expensive mattress and nice pillow. I'll bring my pillow with me. But yeah, so fair warning. CBFPV says, where can we watch the live gig? You know, I have no idea. I don't know a whole lot about the gig, to be honest. BMX World Championships. UCI, is that it? Wait, no. 2024 Rock Hill. Okay, so it looks like it's these guys. So it looks like it's UCI that is the organizing body, I guess. And hey, there we go. No, lives. I thought it was lives. I'm assuming it's going to be in here. 2024 BMXworlds.com. I'm putting that into the chat. I'm going to go ahead and assume that it's going to be in there. Fair warning, though, a lot of times when I do these live events, the way that they can pay for them is by charging people to watch the live stream. It's tough to get enough sponsors on board to pay for a mega crew. You know, I only really get brought on to events that have where it's like a big production. And so, yeah, every once in a while, like Aniston this year was free to watch on YouTube, which I was blown away by. In the past, you've had to pay $20 to watch it or whatever. So fair warning, you might have to actually pay to watch that. I have no idea, but it looks like that's the website for it. In the chat, Minton was first, Hockey Rounds was next, Bergeron, Doubles FPV, John Colgan, Nathan Otis, Seamus Kelly, Bob Bruce, Kevin Sumners, Northern Tier, Scotty Scott, Cloudhopper, Stavel, I promise I haven't forgotten about you, man. Stavel chopped up a live stream or two into the important bits, and I am going to be putting them up as shorts. I'm going to try to spend a big chunk of time tomorrow doing that, and I'm going to try to schedule them out. So one goes up tomorrow, one goes up Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so that, yeah, there's a bunch of things. They're from a previous live stream, so if you watch a lot of these live streams, they'll be old news to you, but yeah, it's going to be good stuff. I really quickly browsed what Stavel did, and from what I saw, he cut like really nice chunks of information out. So, dude, thank you so much. Very, very cool of you. Yeah, I just need to, I'm just absolutely hammered between these two gigs trying to get ready. What's really killing me is Rampage. Like I really, I've completely neglected the 5-inch fleet, which is why they're not up here. And a bunch of the 3-inch stuff too. Like we've been going so hard on Tiny Whoops that when I've gone out and flown 3-inch and 5-inch stuff, I've destroyed them and then just come home and put them on the shelf and been like, I'll fix it later. I got Tiny Whoop stuff to do for the next upcoming live stream. So I've had a lot of gear that's been in really bad shape that's needed some serious attention. And that's taken me a whole bunch of time. And I've also, you know, I tried to do another 5-inch build to bring with me with a different frame and some cool stuff, and instead it burned to the ground. So yeah, that was a huge waste of time, but hey, that's FPV sometimes. Speaking of, actually, I need to grab this and just put it somewhere that I'll remember to take a look at it, and yeah, no, that's fine. Cool. So yeah. Who else is in the chat here? We've got a little bit of Walter, Nathan Otis. Looks like there's a conversation going on between those three. Smoking Dog Cujo. Who else is in here? Ciotti, Frank Nicholas, Timmons, Tongue Out FPV, Kevin James, Great Scott, Danzel the Terrible, FPV Toast, SlowCal, CBFPV, BLD, Squitchy, Beef FPV. What's the story behind Beef FPV? Tell us. Tell us why. Why beef? Why not? Fair enough. EMP FPV. If you want the gangly man to read your name, you got to come into the chat early. Say something. If you want to talk directly to me, though, the other way is tag me. Type at CiottiFPV or just type CiottiFPV. Don't put a space in there and spell it right. And when you type someone's name for that person, it lights up in orange and they see it. Those are the comments that I read. I don't read the entire chat. So yeah, if you want me to read your comment, you got to type CiottiFPV into it. Cloudhopper did that, and he said, I got my order from Black Market FPV, and the shipping tape said just send it. LOL. Oh. Fail. Walter says, remember people to put Lua Betaflight script on transmitter TR16S. It helps. I'm not the biggest fan of Lua scripts, but there's kind of no reason to not do it. Like, if it's there and you never use it, it's better than it not being there, and then at some point you might need it. So yeah, I actually did it at one point. You know what? I did it on the old radio that I just retired like last week. I guess I have to do it on the new one. Whatever. I saw you guys talking about durability, so I put a link to the Mobile 6 2024. You guys, somebody was talking about Tiny Whoop durability, so I put a link to the extreme durability testing of the Mobile 6 2024. CBFPV says, yo, Danzilla the Terrible says, what's that thing stuck on your face? Facial hair? Or was I a sloppy eater? I was rushing to eat a burrito. Hopefully I got all of it into my mouth and it's not stuck to my face. Stavel says, when are you getting a tattoo like Bardwell? Chat suggestions? I didn't think Joshua had a tattoo. Did he just get one or something like that? Kevin Sumner says, are you all packed for Wednesday? Haven't even started. That's what tomorrow's going to be. Tomorrow, I have all day tomorrow, and then I have all day during the day Wednesday. I'm thinking I'm going to leave here Wednesday at maybe like 4, because it's a 3.5 hour. I don't have to do anything Wednesday night. I just have to get to the hotel and then get to sleep. And like it's kind of middle of nowhere, South Carolina that I'm going. So I don't necessarily want to get there early because there's nothing going on. Nathan Otis says, what's that classic in the driveway? It is a... Oh, Patrick's going to be so mad that I don't know. It is a Pontiac Le Mans, maybe? I forget what it is. I forget what it is. If P. Richard Scott jumps into the chat, he'll let you know. Oh, damn it. I can't think of what that one is. I can't think of what the black one is. Stephen Woodruff says, is it the UCI World BMX event? That's the one. EMP FPV says, what rig for the gig? EMP, make sure that you type CiottiFPV. I just happened to... Your comment was just below somebody else that tagged me, which is the only reason I saw it. So when I fly live, this will be the 6th or 7th opportunity that I've had to fly live. These are the two guys that I run. It's a weird, interesting gray area where, like, so if you're going to fly over people, above people's heads, you're supposed to be category 1, as per the FAA rules, which is sub 250 grams is the most important part. You can't have any externally rotating things that could lacerate. It's almost exactly their wording. The reason why I say it's a gray area is that talks about like flying above like crowds and people. At these events, I'm really barely ever flying above people, and I don't need to. Like if I was to kind of push it, I think that I could fly rigs that are above 250 and just make absolutely sure that where I launch from, I have a path to never go above the crowd. But the gray area is that I then fly above athletes. And there are people too. They're on the event's insurance, and they're almost kind of sort of considered to be crew. It's just there's no it doesn't like differentiate. I don't know. So I just play it safe and do sub 250, which sucks because at 250 grams, the biggest rigs that I can build that will keep up with give me the runtime and the power and the speed that I need are 2.5-inch propellers. And there's a significant performance increase that you can get by going up to 3-inch rigs, but taking one of these and building it into a 3-inch rig, instead of 249 grams, it's going to be like 310, 320 grams, like way over sub 250, like not even close. If it was close, I might be willing to like fudge it, but it's just not. You got to run bigger motors. The frame is significantly heavier. So yeah, I'm stuck with 2.5-inch. But these two get the job done. The cyclists will cruise at like 25 to 30 miles an hour, and then they will burst up to like 40. And at 40 miles an hour, these fucking things are, I mean, they are just stood up, and they are screaming. You can hear it on the static cameras, the corner cameras, all record audio. And when the TV truck takes one of those cameras and I come by, there is no mistaking it. I mean, it's just like you absolutely hear it. They've actually asked me on more than one occasion, like, hey, is there any way you could make that quieter? And I'm like, technically yes, but it's going to negatively affect the flight performance and the speed and the battery life and whatnot. So like, unless you absolutely need me to, I would rather not. And they're like, yeah, no, it's okay. It's fine. We'll deal with it. So yeah, these two builds. So one of these builds is much more durable, and it's basically the build that I use to do all of the testing early before the event starts, and it's also the backup rig. This is a Lumineer / GetFPV QAV Cinna. It's the old one, the Lumineer edition, but the new one is exactly the same. I think it's now called the QAV Cinna Pro. I don't know. It's the box frame that looks like this that has 2.5-inch propellers. The only other one they have is a 5-inch, so it's very obvious. Yeah, incredibly durable. Love this build. 20 by 20 stack, nothing crazy. Vista. At some point, I am going to move to 03, but it's a very expensive move. Long story, but whatever. If you want more info on 03, watch the recap from the Sunny King Criterium like 2 weeks ago. But yeah, this rig is awesome. T-Motor 1404s, 4S, and then these are Azure 2540s. If you're going to build a rig to do this, this is the setup. These props, these motors, like, I've tested a lot of different stuff, and this is what performs the best. True RC antenna up nice and high. Immortal T up nice and high as well, so that when I'm nose down flying, these two guys are up as high as you can basically get them. So yeah, before the event, this is what I fly to check if there's any areas where I'm gonna fail safe or whatever. And this is the backup rig. So if this other rig goes down, this is totally flyable. Sometimes I'll put this up in the air during the event. Like, what I'll do is I'll run this camera at like a very low camera angle, basically like 0 degrees of up tilt. And then this will be my like really slow hovering kind of rig. Like, I'll put it up. A lot of times they'll come over the radio and say like, hey, can you give us like some beauty shots or some like horizon shots and whatnot that they can pepper in. So I can take it up nice and high and just like slowly yaw it around and whatnot. So it does get used, just not nearly as much as this one, which is very, very similar. Same props, same motors, 20 by 20 stacks, Vista, same kind of everything. Oh, by the way, both of these rigs have crossfire and ELRS. If for some reason crossfire is having a hard time, I can swap to ELRS. I prefer to run crossfire, but yeah, it's there. At these events, the TV trucks have about 1,000 antennas up on the roof. The corner cameras are sometimes wireless. They've got wireless microphones all over the place. It is an RF nightmare. And I have had events where the crossfire has had minimal range, like 300-400 feet range max. So having ELRS on, I've actually not, that was the event that made me realize that I needed to put something else on these. So after that event, I put ELRS on them, and I haven't had to use it yet. But at some point I will, and it'll be nice that it's there. This is an AOS Cine 2.5 frame, and it's a very weak frame. If I crash this, it breaks. They have, Chris has chosen to not brace the ducts in any way out here. So if you crash and you hit even remotely on the corner, it just snaps the bottom and the top plate typically. The bottom plate definitely breaks, and a lot of times it'll break the top plate. When I first built this and I took it out in the front yard to start tuning it, it fell about 5 feet to the grass and it broke the bottom plate. Luckily, I had a replacement bottom plate. I put that on like the next battery, I think, tuning it. It smacked down onto the sidewalk right next to the grass from, again, like 5 feet, and it broke both the top and the bottom plate. So, yeah, very, very, very fragile, but because of the fact that this is all opened here, it's more efficient than this guy, which has the support. This support right here is the reason why this frame is so strong. Because when you put energy into the outside here, it drives that energy up into this support, which is very rigid, right? It's all triangulated and nice here. Whereas with this, there's nowhere for that force to go. It just snaps and these plates are fairly thin. I think these are 2 millimeter. They do sell a 3 millimeter top and bottom plate version of this, but that would be way too heavy. This is already heavier than this, mainly because this is like a classic box frame. One piece top plate, one piece bottom plate, standoff. Super simple, super basic. This is more like a regular quad with a base plate, and then like this is almost acting like an X plate, and then you've got removable arms, and then there's the main plate here as well. So there's just a lot more carbon on this. There's a lot more complexity. It's a lot harder to work on. But again, out here, having this all open makes a significant difference in runtime. I probably get about another 20 to 30 seconds with this, which doesn't sound like much, but it actually is. It makes a really, really big deal when you're flying battery after battery after battery after battery for hours and hours and hours straight. So yeah, there's no real other differences in the build. Again, Vista 20x20 stack, T-Motor 1404s, Azure 2540 props, and yeah, again, the antenna's up nice and high so that when it's nose down, they are the highest point on the quad. So yeah, these are my live flying rigs. They've been absolutely fantastic. I've made a couple small changes here and there over the years, but they've broadly stayed the same. With 03, unfortunately, it doesn't really work in either one of those frames, so I have a what's called the Raxus. There's a frame called the Raxus, which is basically that QAVS Cine, but designed for the 03 air unit. I built the Raxus with the 03 setup, and then unfortunately, on like the third battery, the ESC caught on fire like 2 days before the event. And so, yeah, I haven't actually used it yet, and it's still sitting in a bag reeking of electrical fire. But it'll get put back together at some point here. It's just, I didn't really need it for Rampage. I didn't need it for this upcoming event. They rented me in order to do these events, in order to get the TV truck clean output, we have to run these stupid ass RC Pro things from DJI. It's the stupid screen with the thumbsticks built in to take the feed from my goggles and then convert it to HDMI. You can technically use Cosmos streamers, but there's a bunch of weirdness. Like you have to take your cable that goes from the goggles to the Cosmo streamer, and you have to kind of take it apart, and there's a wire that you have to cut in it. And then the Cosmo streamer itself is just basically a Raspberry Pi. And yeah, I mean, it's not as stable as DJI 03 going into DJI goggles, going into DJI RC Pro. Unfortunately, with the new RC Pro, so they rented me the RC Pro, which is $1,200 to buy, for the Aniston event. And one of the things I learned before the Raxus caught on fire is that the dumbasses removed one of the USB ports from it. And so now the RC Pro cannot be charged while you're using it. At which point it becomes completely worthless for live broadcast. Like everybody all the other pilots that are doing live broadcasts, which is only a few of us, are like so pissed at DJI about this. And we all have to use Cosmo streamers now. So I have not gone down that rabbit hole yet because, again, it was just that one event that they had the budget for the 03 setup. I really would prefer to keep using the Vistas because they're here. They're reliable. They have much better low light performance than the 03. And the box, it's this stupid thing. I can use this, which has been incredibly reliable and durable. And yeah, it's got one USB here and then another USB up here. So I can have it plugged into a wall wart so the battery doesn't go dead, and I can output to my goggles. The new one, they took this port off. So you just have this, which you have to connect to your goggles. So the built-in battery is all you got. Which is just... It's a perfect example of how tone deaf DJI is. Like this is like this is not for hobbyists. This is a professional piece of gear. The only reason anybody would buy this is if they're doing if they're a working professional, and for them to not like what the hell, man? Have you lost your mind? Really weird, man. Scotty Scott says, glad you're back from the dark side. Welcome back. Thank you, dude. CBFPV says, where can we watch the live gig? We talked about that. YouTube just did the thing. Scrolling back up. Oh, boy. Lambo Drive Zambo saying hi. Volusia says, hey, CiottiFPV, see you soon. Rampage. Nice, dude. You're going to have a blast. Cole Power says, would you still hate it if they just send it on their mailers and packaging? Yes. I would hate it even more. Take it easy, phone. Hey, I need to print another shipping label out. I have the shipping labels that I print are 2 up, and I have 1 printed sitting on the printer. So somebody buy something for me. I have a lot of stuff that is decent and that's for sale. I've got a set of EX 0802, the lightweight ones with the single piece bell. These are Happy Model EX 0802 27,000 kV motors. The bells say that they're 33,000 kV. They're not. The stator is 27,000. The bells are from 33,000 kV motors. I took the 33,000 kV stators and I put them on the bells from a 27,000 kV motor, because those bells have a 1.5 millimeter motor shaft. These have a 1 millimeter motor shaft, so don't put these on a 75 millimeter rig. You will wreck these bells pretty quickly. These are for a 65 millimeter rig. Yeah, I have a set of these. I have a T-motor 1S VTX built-in, ELRS built-in AIO where'd that go? That the VTX, it gets dark. It gets a little bit dark, and then it's normal, and then it gets a little bit dark. It's totally flyable. It's just annoying. So, yeah. But other than that, it's totally fine. It's even got a BT 2.0 plug hooked up to it. I flew it freestyle forever, but then I built a cinematic rig to chase the RC drift cars with it, and the video being dark every once in a while was just driving me mad. I've got an Acon 55 amp 30x30 ESC, which has a little bit of electrical noise, a little bit excess electrical noise. Totally works. You just might not be able to get a totally, you know, gnarly PID tune on it, but it absolutely works. And yeah, it'll probably never fail, but it's just got a bunch of electrical noise that was, again, driving me mad. This is a newbie drone DJI O3 conversion kit if you want to make a lightweight O3 VTX. I've also got a Fractal 65 frame with a whole ton of ducts and all the TPU that you would need. I've got these little 3mm spacers, M3 3mm spacers. I got these so that you can crank your front 4 screws down even when you're using a GoPro mount. 3mm is pretty much the exact thickness of here, so you put the spacer in there, and then you put a little washer on top of your M3 screw, and then you can hammer your front screws down without worrying about pinching the TPU and ripping the TPU. So I've got a ton of these. I've got a couple of Axis 2306 motors, 2 perfectly good ones, and then 2 perfectly good stators. I've got 3 of these Newbie Drone Cockroach 65 V3 polycarbonate frames. These are the stronger ones that are 1 gram lighter than the more floppy ones. I've got a BetaFPV air canopy, the little G-string canopy. I've got a Happy Model 65mm frame with a brand new, literally never run, set of Happy Model 0802 19,000 kV motors on it. I've got a BetaFPV M01 VTX and canopy and camera setup. This canopy, the slightly older canopy. Bunch of, I have the long Mobula 7 screws. I've got some M2x12s. Nope, M2x9s. And then I've got a bunch of M1.2x12s, the longer screws needed for the Walksnail Tiny Whoops. I think that's about everything. Yeah, if you've been talking to me about buying something, now's the time, because I'm about to be out of here for a week, and when I get back, I'm going to be just exhausted. So, yeah, there's going to be a chunk of time that goes by here where I'm not shipping anything. So, yeah, somebody buy something, please. I'll send it out post-haste, because I need to print this other shipping label. I need an odd number of people to buy something from me. You can also go over to my Etsy store, and there's all kinds of stuff over there. A whole bunch of really fun stickers and other random things. Shout out to CMYK for sending me a little stack of these amazing new stickers of his. Absolutely love them. They're sitting right here. I'm trying to figure out the perfect place to put one. Hey, I also have this shirt, which is a large, but I don't want you to just buy this shirt. Whatever, just buy this shirt for me. It's brand new, but it's a large, and I swim in larges. Somebody buy this so that I can buy it in a medium. My dad ordered it for me for Christmas in medium, but they shipped a large, and he didn't notice it, and it's been too long to return it. That's what I got, friends. Hey, no, I got an extra pin vise. I have one more pin vise. $40. This is the one that I tried to flame treat to make it purple, and it kind of looks ugly. But it's a tool. It's going to sit in your toolbox. You'll never see it. Pin vices are, they're not all double-ended, but this is a double-ended pin vise. They're for holding drill bits. And in that kit, you get a 1.5 millimeter drill bit and a 0.99 millimeter drill bit. This will save your fingers, and it'll save your motors. Whenever you're about to put a propeller on, you run the propeller down whichever side is appropriate, and it opens it up the perfect amount so that you can put it onto the motor shaft without ruining the motor by pushing the motor shaft down out of the bell. And it also makes it so you can remove the damn thing without your fingers exploding. I've sold 9 of those pin vices so far, and everybody absolutely loves them, as do I. Like, I've been slightly drilling out propellers forever. and it's why I don't ruin many motors by the motor shaft slipping. So yeah. Jbo888 says, trying to get the most out of Emax transporter goggles. Any benefit to changing the stock antennas? Always. Flying new Mobile 6, would you ever change VTX antenna on the drone? Again, always, yeah. I pretty much never run stock antennas because they suck. In terms of video performance, the best thing that you can do is put better antennas on stuff, because everything that gets shipped out has kind of like the cheapest possible antennas on it. So yeah, absolutely. TrueRC makes the best antennas. Their Singularity line of antennas are the lightest weight, and they're what like all of the long range guys use, which says a lot. So yeah, can't go wrong with TrueRC Singularity. But to be honest, like if you change it to anything other than what came with it from the factory, you're gonna get a bump in performance. Yeah, antennas, you're not, like goggle side antennas, you might as well spend the money on, because you're not going to break them, and you can transfer them from these goggles to the next goggles to the next goggles. So yeah, the TrueRC Singularities are going to be your jam for your goggles. On the quad, you are eventually going to break that antenna, so sometimes going with a cheaper one isn't a terrible idea. At the moment, I'm kind of fascinated by the ORT Mini V antenna. Pulling it up real quick here for you. It's super durable, super lightweight, and it just works. And it's $7, which is awesome. Singularity antennas are $20. $7 is a hell of a deal for an ultra lightweight antenna that's going to perform a little bit better than stock. Definitely get it in the 50 millimeter length. So yeah, there you go, my friend. Great question. Denzel the Terrible says, made you lucky, you bastard. Cole Powers says, no, we got that. Timon says, have a friend with a new Mobula 6 2024 that won't bind. VTX is selected on the same UART as serial RX from the factory. Could that be why? Yeah, it could be why. It's like they close their eyes when they're setting when these companies set these rigs up and send them out. It's just beyond belief. Take a screenshot of this and send it to your buddy. This is what it should look like. This is what the ports tab should look like. Yeah, each UART, you can't have one single UART be both serial and anything else. It's either or. So here's what you want your ports tab. Well, here's what your friend wants his. What the hell? That's interesting. Well, this is what his ports tab should look like. It sounds like it already looks like that. Interesting. I guess they're doing something different. Usually you would want that. Oh, you know why? It's because the receiver is on board. It's not an external receiver. When it's an external receiver, you have to use the serial port from that UART to connect to the damn thing. But since this is an internal, yeah, I think they're using that wacky open source VTX thing, and I guess they're using the VTX is somehow on the serial port. That's interesting. To bind it, it should be super simple though. Just unplug it and plug it in 3 times. That puts this into bind mode. Does it? I think didn't I bind mine on stream? 1, 2, 3. I'm pretty sure I bound mine on the live stream. So go back to that first Mobula 6 2024 live stream, and I think I bound it live. I forget how I did it. Cloudhopper says, my IGOW motor equipped Jungle Gym build done today. 2G4 Mobula 6 AIO, Mobula 7 white V4 frame, Mob 6 canopy with Runcam Nano V3. Wow, shaking after 2 batteries, 23.1 grams. Yeah, flies unbelievable, right? The Jungle Gym Basher is gnarly. 0802 27,000 kV motors with 1.6-inch Gemfan biblades is a hell of a combination. Kevin Sumner says, so what you're saying is it sounds like the Millennium Falcon when it passes by, pretty much. Cole Powers says, you know those props that come with toys that have a ring of plastic at the edge to prevent laceration? Any chance they make those for 5-inch? Nobody does, but you know what's interesting is that came up in a discussion over on Rugi's channel, FPV Cycle, a while back. Yeah, that would be interesting. That would be super interesting. Smoking Dog Cujo says, "What an?" Oh, then he comments, "Can you fly anything heavier than 250 above people?" Not without a waiver, and getting a waiver is a pain in the ass. And a lot of times they just say no. Like, to get a waiver, you're supposed to put it in 90 days ahead of time, which is never going to happen. No production is ever ready 90 days ahead of time. And, like, you're supposed to put it in with, like, a flight plan and all this stuff, again, that is never available 90 days ahead of time. It's, like, if the people that I know that have had success getting waivers, they are constantly dealing with the FAA. They're companies like Indoor Drone Tours. And a lot of times they have a relationship with someone that works at the FAA, and they, like, call them by name and, like, email them directly. And so, yeah, like, it's just kind of unrealistic. All that being said, I don't necessarily want to be flying something over 250 grams at these events. I'm already paranoid enough about making a mistake and going down in front of at these cycling events, the peloton, which is the main group of riders, they are shoulder to shoulder and they are on each other's tire. And so if I go down and that spooks any one of those people, there is going to be a massive pileup that is my fault. And, like, these are athletes, and, like, some of them, this is their career, and they get injured. And I do not want to be the reason that one of these athletes gets injured and can't compete for 6 months with a broken leg or some shit because I went down in front of them, or, God forbid, I actually, like, full-blown hit them. So, yeah, I want to be flying something absolutely as light as possible, for just safety reasons. You know, as much as I would love the better flight performance of a 3-inch setup, yeah, I don't know. I've over the years, I've tried my best to look at the brighter side of what I'm doing, rather than just like, fuck man, I wish I had a 3-inch rig, it'd be so much better. You know, I'm trying my best to make lemons from lemonade. Jeremy Overreich says, why do you prefer Crossfire? Basically, it's been around longer, so it's just had way more time to be an established, like, known quantity. Also, the longer wavelength, just from a physics standpoint, will travel farther and bounce better and penetrate better and all that stuff. It's also easier to use, right? Like, ELRS, if it works, great. If it doesn't work, it's a disaster. Like, there's a bunch of different versions of it. It's a nightmare, right? Like, if I have to rebind something on site, ELRS is gonna be a pain in the ass. Whereas Crossfire, I'm gonna hold the button on the receiver. It's gonna update the damn thing from the transmitter, from the module, I should say, and life is good. ELRS is not a professional grade product. ELRS is an open source thing that's way more hobby grade. They're making strides to make it more professional grade and make it easier to use and make it more realistic for those of us that are doing this in situations where we can't just drive home to fix it, or we can't just pack up and leave, right? Because people are relying on us to perform. But it's not really there quite yet. But hopefully the next version of ELRS will be significantly easier to use, and that will be a big stepping stone for them. Star Stripes Jacket says, do you have both receivers on at all times, or are they switched with something like a pit switch so you can change which one is active? I was lazy, and I just hooked them both up to 5-volt pads, and they just both run all the time. So basically the ELRS is just always in Wi-Fi mode, just blinking green the whole time. Look, it's kind of like, one of the things that I go for is just absolute simplicity. The receivers don't really seem to burn out all that often, if ever, because they're receiving, right? They're not really transmitting. And if it's in... wonder what it's doing in Wi-Fi mode. I guess it is Trent, but I don't know. I don't think I've ever had a receiver let go on me. So yeah, just having it on a steady source. Plus, like, I would have to have like two powered pit channels. You know what I mean? I would have to have like one to shut one off and one to shut the other off. And yeah, I just said to hell with it and just hooked them both up to 5 volt and just let them run all the time. Frank Nicholas says DJI RC Pro charging while in use is absolutely possible. Just need the correct split cable. Mentioned that before. That's right. That's right. I forgot you mentioned that, Frank. Yeah. I think I'm going to go Cosmo Streamer, though, just because it's like a third of the price. And yeah, having to clip one of the wires on the goggle cable, I guess, is not that big of a deal. When it came right down to it, I talked to a whole bunch of the other guys that are flying live, and they are now all flying on Cosmo Streamers, and they've had a lot of really good stuff to say. The one guy that flies King of Hammers was on a Cosmo Streamer for like, I forget what he said. I think he said like 10 hours a day for like 5 days straight or something like that. And he was like, yeah, the Cosmo Streamer hung in there really, really well. So I'll probably do that, but we'll see. There are pluses and minuses to either side, and it's hard to kind of pick. But yeah, I don't know. It's I don't know. Test says, have you ever thought about creating your own solution? Yes. Danzilla Terrible says, I still want a pizza and a pineapple lanyard off you. You can print me that. Label. Nice. Danzilla, can you do me a huge favor and shoot me a message somewhere, anywhere, with your address and just tell me those lanyards? And yeah, you got it. I'll send them out tomorrow. Danzilla says, I'll take the 3mm spacers too. Cool. Make me a list. Let me know what you need. I'll shoot them out to you. Jeremy Overesh says, is it possible to connect that AIO to an external VTX? Which AIO are you talking about? AIO to an external VTX. What's that AIO? The Mobula 6 2024? If you're talking about this, the answer is no. Apparently, they use the same power source for ELRS and the VTX, so you cannot run this on an external VTX. Dog, what are you doing? Are you talking about this T-Motor AIO? Maybe. There needs to be pads on here. There needs to be a way of disabling the VTX. And so usually what they'll do is they'll have two pads next to each other that they bridge with solder. And I am not seeing that anywhere on here. I am not seeing that anywhere on here. So you would want to message T-Motor somewhere and say, hey, is there a way to set this up? But it doesn't look like there is, because you need to like cut power to the VTX. Otherwise, it's going to get too hot without an antenna, with an antenna not hooked up to it. Why am I scrolled too high? That's a first. Frank says, or USB-C hub with power in and video out. Is that a thing? How would that work? USB hub with power in and video out. Power in and video out. So they make USB hubs that have HDMI in and HDMI out? That's pretty interesting. Why would they do that? What other use other than what we're doing? I guess maybe it puts power into the HDMI line. That's interesting. Frank Nicholas says, correct cable requires no clip of wire. On the Cosmo Streamer, that's news to me. I very recently talked to a bunch of the guys that are doing it, and they all said that you still have to clip the wire. That's super interesting. That would be great. That would make the situation even easier. It also, the Cosmo streamer themselves also have said that very recently, like I think it was maybe 3 weeks ago. So yeah. Jbo888 says, thanks man, but it still confuses our singularity the same as linear? No. Singularity is a CP, or circular polarized antenna. Any circular polarized antenna is going to give you better performance than linear, but the singularities are like a really good, really well-tuned circular polarized antenna. Does omnidirectional not work with the linear? So omnidirectional refers to antennas that shoot 360 degrees. Linear antennas are omnidirectional. CP antennas are also omnidirectional. Pretty much, no, I was going to say pretty much all antennas other than patch antennas are omnidirectional, but that's not true because there's different versions of patch antennas. So yeah, but most antennas are omnidirectional. I was going to say if the antenna looks like it would shoot 360, it does, but that's not necessarily true. Some of the antennas don't necessarily look one way or the other. But yeah, CP is what you want, circular polarized antenna. That's where you're going to get a performance increase versus standard whip or linear antennas. Grepper says, I think you're currently recommending the Mobula 7 75mm V4 frames. What are your thoughts on the Newbie Drone Cockroach 75 frame? Very, very fragile. The plus of the Cockroach 75 frame is it comes with a carbon fiber brace. So if you're going to use it for something like my tiny lifters, like a cinematic type platform, that you're not going to really crash, it's going to work. For any kind of freestyle work, you don't want the Cockroach 75. You're going to break them all over the place. They are very different than the Cockroach 65 V3 frame in that respect. The 65 V3 frame is super durable. They're made of different plastics, which is the deal. Jeremy says, okay, we got there. Brandon Anderson, thank you. Curtis Hayes says, my new Mobula 8 rolls to the left in acro. I disabled the accelerometer because I couldn't get it to do acro otherwise. How to troubleshoot? Take rolls to the left in acro. Like, when does it roll to the left in acro? All the time? Or when you hammer the throttle, or when you chop the throttle, or disabled the accelerometer because I couldn't get it to do acro otherwise. I mean, you can just put it on a switch. You can have a switch that goes from horizon mode to like not horizon mode, or from acro mode to not acro mode. When there is no when you have a switch which has like horizon and then nothing is acro, or acro, angle rather, and nothing. So as long as you don't have a switch that's set in a position that's activating either angle mode or horizon mode, then it is in acro, and you don't have to totally disable the accelerometer in that case. So yeah. But if it's one of the easiest things for you to do, if it's rolling to the left, take both left side motors and put them on the right side, and take the right side motors and put them on the left. And then if it starts rolling to the right, the motors are the problem. It probably won't. It'll probably keep rotating to the left, and that'll just, yeah, that's the beginning of the troubleshoot. That's the easiest and quickest thing to do. Adam Weston says, just emailed you to buy the Acon ESC and a few other small things. Awesome. Thank you, dude. Denzel the Triple says, couldn't you just solder a matching spec power source in place of the DJI controller battery? Probably, but exactly as you just said, mind you, that would mean opening a $1,200 controller. Yeah, I ain't playing that game. Doubles FPV says, love my Mobula 6 for indoor, outdoor, and getting my kids into whoops, awaiting the 2024, but need more and can't find any ELRS Mobula 6 or Mobula 7s anywhere. Recommendations on alternate options? There are none. The closest that we've got are the Beta FPV cross style AIOs, and then you have to run an external VTX, which sucks. But that's really the only other option. That's the only other AIO that's even remotely durable. And so, yeah, it's a grim situation with Tiny Whoops right now. And there's about 1 billion pre-orders on the Mobile 6 2024. So, yeah, they probably... And also, there is a worrying amount of broken Mobile 6 2024s within the first, like, 5 batteries. So... yeah. Keep your eyes peeled for the old school Mobula 6 2G4 AIO. And if you see them pop up anywhere, just buy them. So yeah. It is before 11 o'clock, and I'm caught up on chat. What a strange time to be alive. First thing we're going to do is I'm going to try to figure out why the hell this thing keeps dropping an arm. I'm pretty sure I remember this just kind of randomly dropping an arm. I don't remember which arm. I don't remember when it was doing it, but I'm going to hook this up, put it into ESC configurator.com, see what version of Blue Jay is on it, hook it up to Betaflight, see if there's anything weird in there, and then I'll go out and fly it again. Probably not until Rampage, but that's okay. And we'll see what's happening with it. This is an AOS 3.5, the OG version, the version 1, and apparently it's a prototype, so it's a super early AOS 3.5. So yeah, let's get it into Betaflight. Let me grab a 4S battery. Here's one. Oh man, I forgot I had these. Little GNB 550s. I don't think they make these anymore. Yeah. All right, cool. So let's go into ESC configurator first, because the whole dropping an arm thing typically has nothing to do with Betaflight. That is typically an ESC issue. I've got rabies. I can't. There we go. All right. For the record, don't do this with props on. Matter of fact, I'm going to put this 4S battery back, and I'm going to grab a 3S battery. Because if it decides to go nutso, I would rather it try to chew my face off with a 3S battery rather than a 4S. But yeah, don't be stupid like me. Take the props off. I'm gonna stay back from it, so that if it does go nutso, it doesn't eat my face. Okay. Failed reading ESC4. Not off to a good start. Maybe we are. Maybe the ESC ate itself, and I just have to replace it. All right. Try this again. Failed reading ESC4. I'll bet you that's the side that it was dropping out on. Let's power cycle it. Oh, I guess maybe it's... Could this be BL Holly 32? Usually it'll say something different than that. Interesting. Let's try BL Holly 32. Where the hell is it? There it is. I think this is BL Holly 32. Come to think, yeah, it is, isn't it? We're gonna connect, and then we are going to come on. It is BL Holly 32. Look at that. Well, that pretty much eliminates. I was kind of hoping that it had Blue Jay 0.19 on it, and I could put it on the Blue Jay 0.16, which tends to fix arm drop issues. But no. Well, I think there is a newer version. Yeah, so there is 32.10. The problem is there was nothing wrong with 32.9. So, I mean, I guess I'll flash it just for the sake of doing it. but this isn't going to fix anything. Wow, that's slow. Good Lord. Well, that gives me time to get the gangly fan out. This thing does have Walksnail in it, so it is going to get a little hot. Let's get this going here. All right. Good Lord, why is it so slow to flash? Holy crap. All right. We are gangly fanning. There we go. All right, that'll keep Walksnail cool. I didn't even bother to read the release notes on 32.10. BL Heli 32.10. Let's see. See if there's anything interesting here. Fixed problem with screenshot function, version number adapted, added manual, added support for extended Dshot telemetry, temperature, voltage, current data now available over bidirectional Dshot signal. Well, that's pretty cool. Reduce ESC and motor stresses during stall conditions. Okay, that could be good. Timeout before shutting off power is reduced. Added protection against unintentional spool ups. That's a good thing. Input signal is qualified before starting during the first 5 seconds of running. Signal timeout is only 30 milliseconds versus generally 320. Jesus. Input signal loss does not lead to new detection of signal type. I don't know what that means. Unless input line is held. I don't know what that means. So when changing input signal type, oh, I get it. ESC must be power cycled for it to take effect. Some small changes to make thrust versus RPM more linear, primarily for static, quasi-static load conditions. Improved and now functional temperature protection for AT MCUs, some smaller fixes. All right. I don't understand much of that, but, you know. Welcome to FPV. Lots of shit you don't have any shot of understanding. But if you can pick up a couple of things, you're doing pretty good. Cloudhopper sent me an email about the t-shirt. Very cool. Smoking Dog Cujo says, are you family with the Redfox A1 AIO used in the Sub250 Whoopfly16? Am I family? Oh, familiar. Am I familiar? No, I've never heard of it. I hate AIOs, so I don't really pay much attention to them. Take a look at it here, though, since it's taken this forever to flash. Good Lord. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Has plugs. Blue Jay. 426088 gyro. That's the worst of the gyros. It kind of works, but I mean, you really can't tell anything from the specs on these. Like it's either gonna work or it's gonna explode, and most of the tiny whoop AIOs explode. So yeah, it's super hard. The thing that matters with tiny whoop AIOs is how durable they are, and none of the specs tell that story. You have to just find somebody that crashes a lot and ask them how many hundreds of crashes it's been through. All right, so we're on 32.10. Let's come back here to ESC setup. We've got PWM low at 24. I'm sorry, guys. We got PWM low at 24, high at 48. Beacon delay 2 minutes. Startup beep volume nice and quiet. Yeah, there's really nothing. There's nothing out of the ordinary here. I could technically crank up the ramp up power, and that might help. I guess I'll give it a little bit more. But like, you don't want to be. I don't know. I'm not a proponent of like band-aiding stuff for an ESC that's dropping an arm and it's about to like fully fall out of the sky. So yeah, I'm not going to go ballistic on a bunch of stuff here. If it continues to drop an arm, I'm going to take it out and I'm going to replace it with something else. So we got that. Let's get it into Betaflight now and see if there's anything that we can see. Thank you, Gangly Fan, for your excellent work as always. Look at this beautiful thing. Douglas Otwell. What a goddamn Chad, as the kids say. You could win your own, Gangly Fan. Join my Patreon and get in on the first Monday of every month giveaways. The Super Chat giveaway every month has one of these in there. You could win. Okay. I did not get much sleep last night, but I did not take a nap today, which is why I'm exhausted, because I need to get my sleep schedule fixed. Because I have to be on site Thursday at 7 a.m. So yeah, the next couple of days I'm going to be very tired, but whatever. That's how you fix your sleep schedule. It's not about when you go to bed, it's about when you wake up and staying awake. All right, Betaflight. To Betaflight. I'm not going to find anything, but I'm going to do a couple little Band-Aid things like turning up the idle to see if I can make the situation a little bit better. But from what I remember, it was a pretty violent arm drop. Hell, there's even a black box log in here, so I'll log it next time. But for now, I'm going to get rid of this log because God only knows what is in there. So it's on Betaflight 4.3. Kind of tempted to update it to 4.5 because Betaflight 4.5 puts the RPM data into the black box file. So let's wipe out the black box, and then we will. I think I'm going to put this onto 4.5. What the hell? So I'll show you guys how to do it. I'll show you guys the slightly sketchy way to do it, which involves doing backups and diffs and all that fun stuff. But Betaflight now gives you a way of doing sort of like a backup on the fly here. So it'll ask you when you're about to update it, but you go in here to presets, and there's a little button here that says Save Backup. So you hit that button. Oh, this might be too... Betaflight 4.3 might be too old. Pick where you want it to save to. Save it, and now let's see if that works. Hey, no, it's all there. Cool. So basically what this is doing is it's just making a diff. This is what the CLI has in it when you do diff, when you type diff, and I'm going to show you that in a second. So I like to do it both of these ways. I've done that before, and the backup file has nothing in it. So to be... It takes one more second. You come into the CLI and you type DIFF. It's short for difference. And it gives you all of the things that are different from stock. And then, so you're at the bottom here. Click next to the last character. You can't just click out here like with every other program. You have to get the cursor to show up. So just grab it by the last 0, and then you're going to highlight, like you can just highlight everything, but come up here and then just copy it, and now it's in the clipboard, and now it's safe. And so now we can go into update firmware, CL Racing F7, 4.5. We want Dshot motor protocol, CRSF, and now we're going to hit load firmware online. It loads it. And now watch, when you hit flash firmware, it gives you the pop-up that says, flashing new firmware will wipe out all your settings. We strongly recommend you save a backup. So you can just hit the create backup button here, but I've already done that, so I can click the ignore the risk button. So the one thing that you lose, and you know, I am actually going to have to remove the props here. One of the things that does not come over in the diff file is any motor direction changes that you've made. So yeah, I am going to have to pull the props off. That'll give me a chance to spin these motors up and see if they're all rattly and horrible. So not the end of the world having to remove these propellers. Cole Powers says, do you think we need to make a motor dyno for FPV quads where you take the prop off, lock it to the stand, and a predictable load is driven at a different RPM, like dynos for cars, but for drones. Cole, check out Chris Rosser. He's done exactly that. He's done it with a flywheel, a very heavy flywheel. And so in all of Chris's motor testing, he uses it to test response time. And it's really interesting. People in the comments, though, have pointed out some inconsistencies in the results. So he's using a big, heavy flywheel, which is significantly more draggy than the amount than like when you have an actual propeller on it. So there's a chance that the data that he's collecting there is not really accurate. So like he's stressing the motors more than they would be in real world conditions. And so things like motor heat could become a problem. If he's testing two motors and one of them is a significantly smaller stator, because his flywheel is asking for more than what we would get from a propeller, the smaller motor, which is unable to shed heat as efficiently as a bigger motor, could overheat in his test dyno setup, and that could, in his testing, it could show worse performance than in the real world. So it's not, doing that is extremely difficult. Because how the hell do you figure out how much momentum a propeller ripping through the air has, right? So it's a super interesting engineering challenge. Chris Rosser, in my opinion, is the smartest engineer that we've got in FPV. He's certainly the smartest engineer that we have with any kind of a YouTube presence, right? I'm sure there's someone else somewhere that flies FPV that's smarter, but they don't have a channel where they're, helping other people out, helping the whole community out. The way that Chris chose to figure that challenge out is probably damn good. It's probably a hell of a difficult thing to sort of figure out. All right, so we are good to go. Accelerometer is not calibrated. Let's take care of that real quick. Put this flat on the dough. Okay, so let's... so as you can see, it is upside down right now, but it's not upside down on the desk. So let's get the backup loaded in here first. So we can just go to presets, and then there's a button right next to save backup that says load backup. And this is the CL Racing F7. So it's this file. We're going to hit open, and it's going to automatically pull that diff in. Now I don't have to do it in the CLI, which is just kind of nice. But always look for this. Warning, configuration has been applied with CLI errors. If you scroll down, you're looking for red text, and you just want to read it. So after the set mag hardware equals none, it says error in set invalid name mag hardware. So basically, it is not going to set the mag hardware to none. Next, we've got set barometer hardware equals none. So it's basically not going to set the barometer to none. That's fine. Keep scrolling. Set OSD warning RSSI equals on. So it's not going to set it to on. That's fine. Set OSD warning link quality to on. It's not going to do that. That's fine. You just want to read through these and make sure that they're not important things. Shit with the OSD, who cares? You can do it manually. Set OSD stat timer 1, stat timer 2, max speed, min battery, end battery, black box. These are all after you fly items that pop up in the OSD. This is totally fine. Don't care about any of this. Set OSD, set OSD, set OSD, set OSD, set OSD. Good to go. Set name equals Ciotti. Error in set invalid name. That's fine. I don't need it to have Ciotti in there. I'll type it in by myself. Set anti-gravity gain to 5. The allowed range in the old. This is what happens. Like behind the scenes. All right, so in this example, anti-gravity gain in previous versions of Betaflight, the window was 1,000 to 10,000, I think. So when you looked at it in Betaflight, it was just single numbers, 5 in my case. I had anti-gravity set to 5. But behind the scenes in the CLI, that 5 value was actually 5,000. Now in the newer version of Betaflight, instead of having that weird 1,000 to 10,000 or whatever the hell it was range, they've changed the range to 0 to 250. You can see that by the fact that it says the allowed range is 0 to 250. So previous versions of Betaflight, this was a value that was okay. It says error, invalid value, because it's out of range. The new allowed range is 0 to 250. So it's just not going to do anything. And what that means is it's going to have the default anti-gravity gain setting, and the default anti-gravity gain setting is perfect, and it works really, really well. That 5,000, or a value of 5, was the old school default anti-gravity that worked really well. So this is totally fine. When you get this red text, what you want to understand is that the item right above it, nothing's going to happen. So if the item right above it is important, then you need to go in and manually set it. If it's not important, if it's like OSD shit, whatever. Or if it's like this, you don't have to worry about it. But you got to look for this red text because it could be something important. It could be something dangerous. There's another anti-gravity gain one. And you just read them, and they make some semblance of sense. There used to be rate profiles 4 and 5. Now there is not. Error and rate profile outside of range. Now there's only 3 of them, so this is fine. So we're good to go. Save anyway. It's very important to read through those, and they usually make sense, so you'll be all right. And now that we've loaded the backup, the quad is now right side up. So we still want to check it though. Nose down, nose up, roll left, roll right, yaw left, yaw right. So we're good to go there. And now we're still going to go through everything because just do it. I'm surprised I don't have the ESC telemetry coming back up. Whatever. It's kind of worthless anyway. It's on Walksnail, so there's no wacky VTX table selected in here. And then I've got Walksnail on UART1, which you can see by the configuration MSP switch being hit. And then the receiver is on UART6, so we're fine. Configuration, the barometer and the magnetometer are both turned off, which is great. That's the default value. One of the things was it didn't like my name, so I have to physically type this in, God forbid. Everything else looks good here, other than the OSD being turned off. That's weird. Wait, no, I don't need to turn that. No, I do need to turn it on. Yeah, that's strange that was turned off. I wonder what that's about. This is why you have to check this stuff. Don't just throw your diff into it and assume that everything is good. I'm going to permanently enable air mode. I used to have air mode set up on a switch, but I never end up hitting the switch. If anything, I would hit the switch by accident, and I would wonder why the quad is flying so bad. So yeah, I'm just putting it on by default all the time now. Nathan Otis says, doesn't motor diff stick with the ESC info? The ESC has motor directions built into it, but Betaflight also has motor directions built into it, and it's easier just to use it in Betaflight, and we're going to do it in a minute, and I'll show you that. Power and battery, yeah, I mean, it just pulled it over from the other one, it's fine. Failsafe, fine. Presets, fine. It's in theory there was already. Let's just throw this on here. We're gonna go cinematic, and we're gonna go serial, separate receiver, and pick. I've probably already done this, but just for the sake of making sure it's in there. PID tuning. Let's take a look at where the tunes. Wow, very laid back tune on here. Let's give a little bit more D gain and a little bit less P and I gain. Let's give it a little bit more Dmax. And then we are going to turn the advance on, but I'm going to turn the gain down a little bit. These are kind of confusing. I don't want to try to dive into them and explain them. Motor output limit is 100%. Dynamic idle is already up at 35, so I guess I'll do 40. I'm not really willing to go any higher than that because I actually really like the dynamic idle down at like 30 or 25, but since we're trying to band-aid this, I'll suck it up and try 40 for a little bit. Thrust linearization is at a value of 10. Nothing's looking weird. Nothing's looking like, oh, there's the problem. No throttle expo set. Filters look pretty kind of standard. Nothing crazy in here. Yeah. Nothing's really jumping out at me. I think the ESC is just on its way out. From what I remember, this is the ESC that I used to have in the Acro Brat, which oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. This is a SpeedX GS25, which used to be a great ESC, but I've put a ton of batteries through the ones that I got before they stopped being manufactured, so it might just be old and moldy. This all looks fine. Arm is here. Horizon mode, beeper, black box. Flip over after you crash. This flight controller, you have to have this weird user one thing set up. I don't know, it's strange. Launch controls there. This all looks pretty standard. Nothing too crazy here. Motors, this is where we actually need to do something. Let's hook up a battery and I'll show you where you can reverse your motor direction inside of Betaflight. It is just so handy. It's right here. Well, let's make sure that the motors are in the right spots. They should be, but let's just double check. Confirm. Motor 1, right rear. Yep. Motor 2, right front. Left rear. Yeah, they were correct. Left front. So that's fine. Save that. And now we're going to go into back in there, and then we're going to do motor direction. I understand the risks. Wizard, start and spin. And now it spins all the motors, so you just touch the motor bell and see what directions it's spinning. What do I have this set up for? Props out? Yeah. So motor 1 is correct. Motor 2 is incorrect. Click it, and that'll reverse it. Now motor 2 is correct. Motor 3 is incorrect. Click it to reverse it. Motor 4 is correct. Double check motor 3. It is now correct. Good to go. Stop motors. That saves it. Close. Now you're good to go. Now you've reordered your motor direction within Betaflight rather than having to go back into BL Heli 32 and do it in there. 14 magnets on the motor. Well, now we also want to unplug the battery so that we're not having the Walksnail sit there banging away. Motor poles 14, that could be the problem. So on micro motors, sometimes they only have 12. I'm going to count. So let me find a starting point here. Okay, the A in axis is magnet number 1. So you just want to count the magnets. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Hey! Probably not the problem, but it could be. Motor poles was set incorrectly. I have had the motor poles number set incorrectly for hundreds of batteries before, and there's been no ill effects whatsoever. But you never know. There's no reason to leave that set wrong. It's easy to count to either 12 or 14. Okay, so this is all good. I'm going to hook the battery back up because I want to see how healthy these motors are or aren't. The way that you do that is you just hold the quad in your hand with the props off and you spin each individual motor up. You come down here, I understand the risks, and you just grab the motor. Most of the vibrations are going to happen around 1300. So right in here. Well, actually, I have a 3S battery on here, so I got to go a little bit higher. But you'll feel it. So just move it up and down, move it up and down, move it up and down. And you'll feel when it vibrates the most. That motor is pretty quiet. Oh man, this motor is super, super smooth. Oh, motor 3 was touching me. That was jarring. This one's very smooth as well. Motor 4 is the noisiest, but it's still not that bad. So yeah, these motors are healthy enough. So if this thing keeps dropping an arm, it's absolutely an ESC issue. That's all good to go. OSD, what are you looking like? It's HD OSD, so it looks super weird in here, but should be fine in theory. I'll see you next time I fly it. There's nothing in here because it's digital, tethered, nothing, black box, gyro scale, decoder. Okay, so we're good. That's pretty much everything in Betaflight. I mean, that is like 8/10 of a full Betaflight setup. But you know, That's not actually what I was doing. I was just sort of looking for problems. But when you're looking for problems, look at everything. So, yeah, I don't know. I'll fly it again. We'll see what's what. I wouldn't be surprised if this ESC is shot. I've had a couple of these SpeedX GS25s do this and need to be retired. So that's probably what's going on. But, hey, we'll give it one more shot and see what's up. I'll bring it to Rampage and batter the living hell out of it. If the ESC goes, that's fine. I'll swap it out. I need to pull this thing apart anyway because I'm going to switch this off of Walksnail back to a Vista. So, yeah, if the ESC is gone, it's not the end of the world. So, yeah, AOS 3.5 ready to go to Rampage. Well, I guess I should put propellers on it, eh? That usually helps with general flight characteristics. Star Stripes Jacket says you should enable MSP plus DisplayPort in the peripheral drop down to the ports section for the VTX. Yeah, how's the OSD working without that? Maybe the OSD isn't working. That's weird. I bet you the OSD isn't working. Maybe I'll fire the Walksnail goggles up just to make sure. Put this propeller on first though. Star Stripes Jacket says that's the way it's supposed to be done as a Betaflight 4.4 for the HD OSD. Oh, maybe that's why. Maybe on 4.3 it was different. You know what I think it was? I think I might not have had OSD on this because back in 4.3, I think you couldn't even get the HD OSD. So yeah, let's get that fixed. And, you know, while I'm at it, I'm going to grab a, let me show you something really cool. If you have one rig where your OSD is set up perfectly, no reason to ever do it again. I'm going to show you how to pull the OSD data out of the CLI so that you can just drop it into all of your other rigs. So let me think about this for a second. I guess I don't have... No, I do. I do have a Walksnail rig with the OSD that I want. And it's sitting right here. So, yeah, this will work. This is weird, pulling OSD off of a tiny whoop and putting it onto a real quad. Alright, so here's what you do. Connect to Betaflight. Wonder why it's not working for a second. Click it again. Click it a third time. Quit out of Betaflight. Relaunch Betaflight. Wonder why it's taking so long to fire up. Click connect one more time. Pat yourself on the back for a job well done. Why is the... I didn't think it had... It doesn't... Oh, it does have black box. Let's erase the black box real quick here. These little tiny Walksnail light VTXs overheat in like 30 seconds. But if you blow on them, it's unbelievable the difference it makes. It does not need much airflow. It just needs a little bit of airflow. All right, so you're going to come into the CLI and you're going to type diff, D-I-F-F. And then you're going to scroll up a little bit. And there's going to be all these items in a row that say set OSD. All you got to do is highlight all of them like that. Copy them. And you guessed it, paste them onto the other rig. And that's it. That'll transfer your OSD from one to the other. Plug the other rig in. Connect. Come to the CLI. Paste it. And look out for red text. Red text means something didn't translate over. And then type save. And that's it. My OSD has been moved from the one to the other. Now I need to go into ports. UART1 is where the configuration MSP switch is turned on. So I'm going to come off to the right to peripherals. I'm going to come in here and we need MSP plus DisplayPort, right? Because look, MSP turned on. MSP plus DisplayPort. It's the only option here that has MSP in it. So that's where you need to be on. Save and reboot. And now you're good to go. Should be OSD on here. Hell, I can even, I probably have the, yeah, I have it set up for the, so let me do this as well. I'll do my cool little OSD off and on with a switch setup. aux2. You go into adjustments, you enable it, you go aux2 or whichever aux channel the switch is going to be on, where you want to switch your different OSD profiles. You open the full range, and then for the then apply, you choose OSD profile selection via channel, whatever that same aux channel was, and you save it. And now whatever that switch is will switch between 3 different OSD profiles. 1, 2, and 3 here, the different columns. So what I have set up is the top 2 switch positions have all the OSD elements, but then the third switch position has no OSD elements other than warnings. Why the hell is warnings turned off? On warnings, you turn on all 3. So it'll give you Betaflight. Don't be like that. The OSD is a little buggy in Betaflight sometimes. Let's see if it's saved. It did not save. Why is it showing disarmed? I hate that that's turned on. Where's the... No, I don't want disarm. I don't need you to tell me when I'm disarmed. I know when I'm disarmed because I flipped the switch to disarm it. All right, let's move it down here. All right, cool. Save that. Wow, that is really crooked. Hold on. There we go. That's a little better. Save that. And all is right with the world. I could technically change like the post-flight I'll do it. Battery current draw maximum, that's a nice one. Battery MAHUs, that's a good one. Battery voltage, that's a good one. Voltage minimum, that's a good one. ESC RPM maximum, that's a really nice one. ESC temperature maximum, that's another good one. Link quality minimum, good one. RSSI minimum, good one. Timer 1, cool. Save that. And this guy is all set to go. Let me throw those Walksnail goggles on, and I'll see if I've got OSD in here. I should. I don't see why not. I wish I hadn't put that one propeller on, but should be okay. 3S battery. What's the worst that could happen? I really wish I hadn't said that. All right. Come on now. Just show me the OSD, and then I can unplug the battery. Hey, wow, look at that. Oh, the firmware is out of date. The OSD is in color. That's pretty cool. All right, well, I have to update the firmware on this. That sucks balls, especially because I don't necessarily remember how to do it. Let me check the version of the firmware on here. So menu, I think it's in settings, right? Settings, device, device info. Okay, goggles, firmware, 34.40.15, 40.15. Okay, 40.15. 40.15. All right, so we are going to go to, let's just search for Walksnail firmware. I think there's a website. Yeah, walksnail.app/firmware. Although there's also this Caddx page, so let's open them both up. Because I haven't done this in so long that I kind of forget. So I'm on goggle firmware 40.15. Let's see how far behind I am. 40.15. Wow. I'm pretty far behind, huh? Do not fly. Jesus. So I am... Oh, I still have race mode, though. Good. I'm not going to update. I want to start playing around with race mode, actually. Is there anything really all that interesting? I think ever since this, all these are like Goggles X stuff. Bug fix, new feature, wallpaper, don't care. upgrade progress bar, couldn't care any less. Real-time clock, don't care. Moonlight camera, don't care. Avatar V2, don't care. Wait, what? Support Avatar V2 dual antenna V. Oh, I don't have one of those. That's fine. ISO mod 2D. Oh, that's kind of. Oh, well, that's in the Moonlight. That's in the Moonlight. Yeah. See, no, this is all shit for their new stuff. I don't have any of their new stuff. Oh man, some of this stuff might fix the problem of exposure change in manual mode. Oh, but see, that might be Moonlight. I'm not updating. I don't care. Okay, so 40.15, is that what I said? 40.15. Okay, so we're going to click the arrow, and then we are going to... Pretty sure it's VTX that I want, but let me just double check. Recon, release notes. Goggles V1, VRX, VTX. Okay, so we're going to download the VTX firmware. And here we go. So it's a .img. Shit, how do I do it? How do I do it? It's a... Do I plug it in? Is there a USB plug on it? No, there's the stupid little JST plug though. I think there's a... Isn't there a JST plug to USB cable? There is. Hopefully I put it in this little goggle case. If I didn't put it in here, I have no idea where I put it. And I'm going to be in a world of pain. So let's see. Hey, there it is. Oh, I have two of them. Look at me go. Because I think they use two different plugs. Because screw your users. Just do crazy shit all the time. Just do weird stuff all the time without realizing that actual people are going to have to try to figure this out. Okay, so yeah. One of these is big, one of these is small. This is the small one for the little light VTXs. This is the big one for this big boy. So I think what I do is just drag the image file over onto the... this will mount as a hard drive, and then I just drag it over, and then I think I like power cycle it. I'm going to have to look it up, though, because I'm sure that you don't just drag it over. I'm sure that there's some other step. You might have to like hold the button. I think maybe I need to hold the button. Does anybody in chat know? Has anybody updated Walksnail firmware recently? Or has anyone just typed it into Google real quick and Google is just like, this is what you do, dummy? I'll do that in a minute. But I know that you have to put the image file onto the thing. Drag it in and hold the buttons for 8 seconds until the light turns red. You do that when you power it on, right? You drag it over first. Here's that 3S battery. So here we go. We're going to plug this in. I am going to get the gangly fan ready because this does take time. All right. So we are gangling. Wow, I did not think I'd be working on this rig for this long. Good God. All right. Powering up. And now I should see it pop up on the desktop. I said I should see it pop up on the desktop. There it is. And, oh, look at all these files on there. What? Oh, this could be a clue as to, I guarantee you, this will tell me what's going wrong with it. So I'll pull these off of there. 6 gigs. That'll take a minute. All right, so let's get caught up on chat while we're waiting for this. County FPV says, I just put 0.16 Blue Jay on my 65 to 75 swap build. Should I enable bidirectional Dshot? I'm on 300. Yes, always enable bidirectional Dshot because that allows you to run RPM filtering, which is brilliant. Cole Power says HDOSD is new as of 4.4. I thought so. Yeah, you could still get SDOSD with MSP plus DisplayPort. Very cool. Oh my god, it's still estimating time remaining? Come on, yo. Just start copying. What are you doing? Copy the files, you donkey. What? Oh, there it goes. Wow, that was slow. Counting FPV says the 65 to 75 swap has 1102, 22,000 kV, and when fully charged battery, the motors jitter and the voltage is not being read correctly when it's below 4 volts. When it's below 4 volts, it starts up and reads fine. And this started when you did the swap, I'm going to assume. Fully charged battery mode jitter, voltage is not being read correctly. Okay. So it thinks it's a 2S battery. So when you fully charge a tiny whoop batteries are all high volt, right? 4.35 volts versus 4.2 volts. So your I can't show you, but in the battery tab there is a maximum voltage field. And currently it's probably set to like 4.25 volts. Move it up to like 4.4 volts. That way if you overcharge that's going to get really old really fast. Wow, it's going to take an hour to copy this? Yeah, that ain't happening. Why? What the hell? Oh boy. What the hell's going on here? What is this shit? What is going on? Oh shit, is this battery... Did I just drag this battery down to Chinatown? Shit, I think I just... Oh, this is only a 2S battery. Oh, I think I just annihilated this battery's face. Hang on. Hang on. No. 3.7. It's fine. Maybe the Walksnail just doesn't like 2S voltage. Let's hook up a battery that can do some actual damage. 4S going on. Here we go. Please don't spin up that one motor and eat me. Yeah, you need the maximum voltage setting in your in there to be correct. Let's just try to copy one file. See how that does. Hey, there we go. About a minute. All right, cool. Interesting. I did not know that about the. This is the full size Walksnail. I guess the lower end on the voltage is. I mean, it's still it was there. It was kind of working. That's wild that it was like. It wasn't getting enough juice and it was still somehow working, but it was all slow like that. That's like the most, that's the most like, how do I say this without being totally obnoxious? Dumb people, you know what I mean? Like dumb people think that like if you showed that to a dumb person, you were like, hey, this battery is lower voltage and it's going slower. They'd be like, yeah, of course. If you give it more voltage, of course it'll go faster. You know what I mean? And in this case, they'd be right. Unbelievably. Although now it's taking forever. Come on now. Let me go get a 6S battery. I'll hook that up and it'll go even faster. All right, here we go. Let's get the rest of these files off of here. And now that I power cycled it, it's going to stop beeping and shit. Cole Powers says you should make a 5.2mm barrel plug to XT60 pigtail. Super useful for powering charger gear from wall warts and even power the quad on the bench without a battery. I actually have one of those. I use it on the charger to charge up the barrel plug batteries. Yeah, I could actually hook that right up to the Toolkit RC adjustable power supply I have over here, but I've already got it going. I never thought of that. The plug's different? No! Did it just... No! Why? Why did the device disappear? Don't disappear, you jerk off. What are you doing? Is it this fucking plug? I've heard that these plugs are a pain in the ass. What the hell, man? Why you dismount? Let's try this again. Oh. Something's happening. I didn't get the second set of beeps. Maybe I just over-discharged this battery. Ah, shit, I did. God damn it. Hold on. Let me get this battery on the charger. Fucking hell. Ah. Don't die, battery. Come back to life. Walk towards the light. You shit. Oh, the first cell is down. No. No, no, no. Hold on. Let me try to jump start it back to life. Right now. You okay, little buddy? Please be okay. Please be okay. Live. Live. Yes. All right. Charger's gonna charge it. Here we go. Okay. I'll bet you I've done that before with that battery. Okay. Here we go. I bet you I've used that battery on the bench like this before, and that's why it was already so low. It's probably ruined though. Okay, let's try this one more time. You son of a bitch. Oh my god, why are you being so flaky? Replace. Apply to all. Replace. Alright, come on now. Come on now. Yo, I gotta pee. I gotta pee. Here, hold on. Listen to the sweet sounds of 5-inch quad through a Hero 5, Session 5 rather. If you're not familiar, the microphone on the Session 5 is like the best we've ever had. I'll give you straight audio. Hold on. Hey, just bought this house. You want to come check it out and smash your quad into all my trees and eat them? Sure. Why not? The sweet sounds of 5-inch. Hey, it's done copying. What do I do now? Wait, no. Leave the battery plugged in. And I think what we do is we open this up. I can delete these, which is terrific. And then I'm going to copy this IMG file over directly to the Walksnail VTX. And it copied. And so now we can eject it, pull power, and I believe now is when I hold the button down. How do I update firmware on Walksnail VTX? Yeah, I think I hold the hold the button down, power it up, wait 8 seconds. It'll do a little blinky thing. To update the firmware, press and hold the small button until the V. I don't want VRX. I want VTX. VTX, you jerk. Come on. Here we go. Here we go. Reddit to the rescue, as always. Click the bind button. When I click the bind button for 8 seconds, I get the beeps. No, that's goggles. I don't want to have to watch a YouTube video about it. Can't somebody just have the fucking text? Yo, this is where the fact that we don't use forums anymore sucks a big bag of dicks. Power it up, then hold the bind button for 8 seconds. Yeah, that's it. I'm just going to do that. Where's the bind button? Tell me I didn't bury the bind button on this. You idiot past me. Did you really not put this somewhere that you could get to the bind button? Oh, I'm gonna smack myself in the mouth for this if I did that. Where the hell is it? What? There's the plug. And that. Oh, is that it? Oh, there it is. Oh, boy. I mean, I can kind of get to that, but... Oh, boy, that is in there. Okay, well, this ought to be interesting. How do I get in there? How do I get in there? Nope. This might be why I didn't update the firmware on it. Ooh, that's it. There it is. There it is. That's not too bad. That's not bad at all, actually. Okay, so I hold that right about there. Does that still hit? Yeah. Okay. All right, so it doesn't sound like I have to be holding the button while I plug the battery in. But we're gonna do this with a short saver, so that we can just use the button to turn it on. This is one of my favorite things about the little ViFly short stopper, short saver, whatever the hell it's called, is that there's a button on it. When you push the button, it passes voltage. When you don't push the button, it doesn't. So I can plug this in, and then I can hold the button down with one hand, and then just push the button with my other hand. I hold this for 8 seconds. But I have to kind of find where the hell the light is on the Walksnail VTX. There it is. Green light, flash, 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 flash. I think that's good. I think I want this fast flashing. It was fast flashing and then it stopped. And now it's not doing anything. Oh, there it goes. Red flashing. Red fast flashing. And now red solid. I think that means it's done. But we're going to wait longer. Now the red light turned off. I think it's good. That was fast. Holy shit. On the little ones, it takes a long time. We're just going to wait another couple seconds here. Oh, there's green. Green, 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 green. I think that's good. Let me power up the goggles and see what happens. It is fast flashing green. Ah. See what we got. Walksnail goggles take a minute to fire up. Hey! And no warning about incompatible Bing Bong. Sweet. All set. Amazing. I love it. And then I can push the button and power it off. Vifly Short Saver. You need one of these. Like, truly. You 100 if you're in FPV, and you wouldn't be here if you're not, you absolutely need one of these. This is a fully essential tool. This is also the only smoke stopper that actually works. The other smoke stoppers are not fast enough, and you will blow shit up before they even cut the voltage. So yeah, Vifly Short Saver is the actual name. Short Saver. It'll be like the Short Saver 2. Yeah, you absolutely 100% need one of these. And every single time there's a sketchy build that you want to power on, you hook that up. And then you don't blow your face off. The AOS 3.5 is officially good to go. Done. Firmware updated. OSD is working. Yeah, good to go. Throw a couple propellers on it. And we'll move on to the Grinderino at 11:58. Sons of bitches. We're going long. Jeremy Overesh says, okay, I got you. I already called it out. CiottiFPV says, powered up, hold the bind button for 8 seconds. That audio is crazy, no high ends. Yeah, the audio from the Session 5 on a quad is what they sound like in real life. You know what I mean? Like, they don't sit like every other camera that's ever been mounted to a 5-inch rig or whatever, any rig. They're like shrill and horrible, and like there's all kinds of wind noise and shit, and they just don't sound the way that these things sound in real life. The Session 5 audio is like perfect. Like when you're flying, that's pretty much exactly what you hear. It's so impressive. Like whenever I fly something with not a Session 5 and then I play it back and the audio is on, I'm always like, oh, what a fucking letdown. We've gone backwards in a lot of ways since the Session 5. And I mean, it's mainly because we are probably 0.1% of GoPro's audience, right? Like the fact that they made the bones kind of sort of for us is absolutely absurd. But what I think that it was is that they get an awful, they might not get any money, they don't get any significant money from the FPV community, but what they do get is content, which is worth a lot. So that's kind of cool. Nathan Otis says, do you use any fluff on your action cams to kill the wind noise? No, because the audio is so bad on them anyway that, like, why bother? The Session 5 doesn't need it. They, like, buried the microphone internally in some weird way, and it's just awesome. But yeah, everything else, like, I've seen people try to get the audio better on the GoPro Heroes, and it always just still ends up sounding like absolute trash. It's, you know, the quads make a hell of a racket, so for a microphone to be able to gain down and not just sound like hot garbage is incredibly impressive. So yeah, the Session 5 was just kind of like a fluke. There it is! These are GemFan 3052s, my favorite of the 3-inch props. Very pitchy. They're not actually 52 pitch, they're like 35 pitch or something, but they're still a very pitchy, very powerful prop. Grinderino time. I did the Grinderino build. I have no idea where I left off. Since we just did Walksnail, I can... Well, let's put power to it, and we'll see. We'll see what it says. Maybe it's magically up to date. I don't know. Powering up the goggles. Hooking up to the short saver again here. And putting power. All right, button for power. Let's see what happens. They might not even be bound, to be completely honest. But let's see. Hey, it is bound. Coming up. Yeah, the firmware is out of date. And the camera's upside down. That's funny. Let me flip the camera right side up. That's driving me crazy immediately. Camera, rotate 0. There we go. Okay. That makes me feel better. All right, let's power this off, and we will update the firmware on this. So, this is the same VTX. So we are going to plug it in. And as soon as I get this going, I will go pull that 2S battery, not 3S, so that it stops beeping. And while that's going on, this thing can... Oh, and then we can look at those files from the AOS and take a look at how bad the arm drops are. And you guys will get to see how the damn thing flies, which is kind of fun. Gangly fan on. Power. On. It powered up as soon as I plugged it in because I forgot to hit the button on the thing in the place. All right, so Untitled. Hey, we've got some flight footage files on this Avatar VTX. That's weird. I don't think I ever flew this thing. It's probably just me fucking around on the bench, I'll bet. No, it's 5.3 gigabytes. Whatever. This is from somebody else. I think I bought this. I think I got this Walksnail from set up from somebody else. So this is their flight footage. That's funny. Jeremy says, do you do that short saver on your Tiny Whoops? I do not, because it is only XT30 and XT60. And I also don't think it goes down to 1S. I think it's 2S to 6S. I've never seen or heard of a short stopper for Tiny Whoops. I've also never blown a Tiny Whoop up in a situation that a short stopper would have helped. Alright, well, I've now got a fully... What? This is a 4S battery. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Over discharged it. Well, cool. I've got a charged 4S battery. We can, I can test one of these rigs tomorrow with it. Put this right here. How's this thing doing? About a minute left. All right, cool. So, here. The AOS 3.5 is this flight footage. Let's see what's what. What the hell? Where? When was this? What are these blue standoffs? Where is this? Oh, this isn't me. This is the previous owner of this Walksnail. VTX. That's why I don't recognize it. No, its standoff is in view. Ew. All right, so let's get rid of that. Hey, that's me. Here we go. Yeah, this is what I remember. Wow, look at all that camera cage in view. That camera cage in view is why I'm taking Walksnail out of the AOS 3.5 and putting Vista back into it. Because the old school DJI silver gigantic camera is what this thing was built for, and I will not get this carbon fiber standoff or camera cage rather in view. Okay, that just finished copying, so we're gonna come down here. Let me get out of this real quick and just move this over here. Okay, so I now can get rid of these and empty, and now we've got Avatar Sky image. Drop that on there. Perfect, good to go. We can power it down, unplug it, and I I gotta find that button again. Oh boy. I actually did bury the button on this one, didn't I? Oh, it's in a really bad spot. Or is it? Is that it there? That's it there. Okay, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. I thought it was on the other side, which would have been really bad. Okay, let's see. Can I get to it from here? Hold on, please. Ah, there we go. That's easy. All right, so button, power, 8 seconds. Where's that light? Where's your light, Walksnail VTX? There it is. Green light, flashing quick green. Flash, 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 flash. Light goes off. We're looking for red. We've got... Where's the red light? Come on. There's the red light. Solid red. I think I can let it go now. Letting the button go. Yep, still solid red. Cool. Let's get it onto the gangly fan. And now it's going to take some time. We'll go back into this flight footage. And I'll just kind of keep an eye on it. Let's go to the second battery. That's just me farting around. This is the actual second battery. Still solid red. All right, let's see if we can catch one of these arm drops. Look how smooth this thing is, though. Tune is rocking. Good response time on the motors. Look at this thing trucking across this field. Still solid red light. Look at this thing. I think I kind of remember this day, too. I remember at some point I flew up real high and looked down. It was really cool looking. Needs more up tilt. See how the horizon is like all the way on the top of the screen? More up tilt needed. Still solid red light on the Walksnail VTX. It's been a while, but I know sometimes it takes like a minute or two. Hey, there it is. All right, I don't care about the smooth flying. I want, yeah, it needs way more up tilt than that. Like we just buried the horizon to get this, to get this thing moving. That was an ambitious direction change there. Pushing it a little bit, seems okay. There's a chance I'm misremembering it. Still have a solid red light on the Walksnail VTX. I don't know what's up with that. What does that mean? What does a solid red light mean? Why is it not... Why is the experience that I had with this one completely different than the other one? They're the same VTX, the same file. I did the exact same thing. What the hell? What is go... Why? What? Walksnail VTX firmware update solid red. Oh my god. Great. Hey, a forum. How nice is this? Blah, 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 blah. Problems. What firmware are you on? Happened to me when I tried to jump from 28X to the latest beta. You're going... Well, that's weird. Oh, it tried to beep the motors and it tripped the short stopper. That's super annoying. Okay, try going to the latest production version, then go to the latest beta. What? I have the exact same problem. Normal size VTX, current firmware, 283210. Receives... Sounds like the Cadix support said to make sure the... Oh, it's the file name. That's it. That's it. That's it. Oh, but wait, why the hell did it work on the other one? What? I remember this. There's a weird file name thing. But yeah, but why the hell did it work on the other one? All right, so let's see. Avatar underscore sky 344015.img. Yeah, no, that shouldn't be the problem. That's like a Walksnail light specific issue. I remember that. And I don't remember how to change the file name anyway. I know there's an article, not an article. There's a forum post somewhere about it. Goggles device. Check home. Here we go. This is the one. You need to use Avatar Sky for all the VTXs. Oh no, that's not it. One thing to take note of. One sport. Read. Here we go. Yeah. Avatar Mini Sky. That's it. Okay. So let's do that. Avatar Mini Sky. That's right. Yeah. What? Oh, I already have it. In the downloads folder. Well, that's nice. So I need to power it back up, and I need to delete the file that's currently on it, and I need to put the renamed one on it, which is going to be in here somewhere. Let's just let's group by name, and then it'll be up at the top because there we go. Avatar Mini Sky. That's the one that I want. Okay, so I should plug it back in. That would help, wouldn't it? To USB, I should say. Let's power it back down real quick. All right, plug it back into USB here. Yeah, so it has to do with the version. If you're on a current, I think the way it works is that if you're on a more current version of the firmware, you don't have to change the file name. But if you're on an older version of the firmware, you do have to change the file name. Regardless, if you get that issue where it just sits solid red light forever like it was, whatever the file name that you've got on there, change it. Either remove or add. What? I deleted these. Delete, you son of a bitch. All right, there we go. Avatar Mini. There we have it. Okay, cool. So now we can eject it, and let's power cycle it because why not? And then let's get this guy back onto the button. And I don't think I need to hold it when I power it on, but it seemed to work last time, so why the hell not? Holding it, powering on. All right, let's see. We've got no light so far. Green light, solid. Green light flashing fast. Green light turns off. No light for a second. Now we're going to go red at some point here. And we've got... Come on. Red light solid. Now start flashing, you bastard. Flash, you bastard. Don't you dare not start flashing. I'm going to come off the button, see if that helps anything. Well, the fact that those files were... The flight files were still there makes me kind of feel like maybe that IMG didn't... Yeah, I don't know. Oh, Bob Bruce, good point. If you're going backwards, you have to change the name to a higher number. That's the other weird thing. That's right. Christ. I forget how that works, though. Do you just change any number? God damn it. For Christ's sake. Sky image file name. Rename it. Yeah. God damn it. Yeah, it's stuck on solid red. There's something going on. It could be a newer firmware version. It's kind of hard to tell. All right, oh, shitting hell. Let's plug it back in. God damn it, Jim. Okay. What I will say is incredibly cool about Walksnail is that even with this firmware mismatch, I could fly it. It gives me the warning, but it is still flyable. It's potentially not perfect though. I have had the situation where I've flown it. It's been totally fine. I've also had the situation where I fly it and the performance kind of sucks, and then I update it and all's right with the world. But the fact that you can just go out and fly it is really, really nice. So like if you're in a pinch, you can just ignore the firmware mismatch and go have some fun. Trying incredibly hard to get this plugged in, but it is fighting me. There we go. All right, we're plugged in again. Doesn't matter as long as it's higher, it will change itself to the proper number on update. All right, cool. So we're going to power it up again. We're going to open it up again, and so help me God, if those flight files are there again, I'm going to smash everything in sight. Yes! Okay, so... okay, so... Which... 40, so let's just like take the 40 and we'll go to like 45. Let's try that. Okay, so that's now set. That's now a drastically higher number. So if I unplug USB, pull the power, get this on the button again. Let's take a look. All right. Buttons being held down. Power it on. Let's see what the light does. Green light. Flashing green light. Flashing green light stops. Wait, wait, wait. The middle number in the file name was 40. I changed it to 45. Solid red light. Oh, you know what? It's still called Avatar Mini, though. God damn it. Coming off the button. Red light's still solid. I think I need to change the name of the file. I think the file can't be named Mini. For Christ's sakes. Yeah, the red light's still solid. Pulling power. Plugging back into USB. Powering it back on. Jesus. Alright. Has to be this. This has to be it. I've tried every other combination. Let's take Mini out of the name. Alright, Avatar Sky 34.45 now, 0.15.img. Eject. Unplug USB. Power cycle. Button. Power. Alright, come on, you bastard. Green light solid, green light flashing. Green light out. That was way quicker that time. That's a good sign, I think. Red light solid. Fuck you. Come on now. Oh, you jerk. What the hell? I've tried all the different combinations. Alright, we're gonna check the version in the goggles. God damn it, Jim. Alright. Power cycling. I should have done this in the first place. All right, so here we go. Goggles are coming up. There it is. And we're going to check the firmware this time. Oh, but it didn't. I hit check, but it didn't do anything. So let's go into device, device info. Okay. Transmitter is 28.32.10. 2832.10. Okay. 2832.10. That's old. Jesus, that's old. Okay. Well. What the hell? 2832.10. That's what? Hang on. Hang on. $28.32.10. Okay. So let's here, yeah, so older than 2832.9. What did I say? 2832.10, right? I bet you the first time I did it, it didn't actually copy over because it had all those other flight files that didn't delete. So let me just do the exact same thing I did the very first time, and I bet you it'll work. And I'm sure it was user error, for the record. I'm sure I did something wrong when I was trying to copy those files over. So, all right, powering it up. And I'm going to change the name all the way back to Avatar Sky 344015. All right. Oh, look at that. Where'd the mini go? Oh, I took it out. That's right. 34. Well, no, I wouldn't think that my having changed that number would affect anything, though. I don't think this is going to fix it. Let me do this. So let me copy the file over again. Let me copy the file over again. Just for the sake of argument. Apparently I need to power cycle it, I guess. Jesus, this is turned into a whole goddamn thing. Oh, I almost just ejected it. All right, let's get this out of here. Empty the garbage. Okay. Avatar Sky 344015. Copy that on. Okay, it's there. Let's give it a split second. Cool. Eject. Unplug from USB. Power it down. Power it up. Get on the button. And we are going to hold the button for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Green light. Flashing green light. No more flashing green light. Come off the button. No light. And Flashing red light. That's what we wanted. Weird. Very, very weird. The first time why didn't it work the first time? That's super strange, man. Huh. Red light flashed for a second. Now it's there's no light at all. I'm waiting for the green. Might as well power the goggles up while I'm waiting. There's the green. Flashing fast. Green. I think that's it. I think it'll now hook up to the goggles. Flashing green. I might need to power cycle it. Probably need to power cycle it. Nope, there it is. Wow. Hell yeah. Cool. Walksnail is updated and good to go. Let's watch some of this flights. Well, here, I'll just leave it on. I got to do other things to it anyway. Pulling power. And cool, pulling the USB plug. Jesus, that's a whole thing. My God. That was a little frustrating. Just a little. But somehow nowhere near as frustrating as ELRS. Like, I will take that little process there over ELRS any day of the week. My God, when ELRS decides to not work, shit, it really doesn't work. And the way to get it to work is cockamamie AF, as the kids say. They probably don't say that anymore. Okay, cool. So, wait, no. Where is it? I swear to God, I remember it dropping an arm, but it didn't anywhere in here. Right? It was completely fine. Look, that's full stank catching it out of that dive, and it was totally fine. Okay, whatever. It's good. This is how the AOS 3.5 flies. Yeah, this is a big full throttle move too. Ready, full throttle, ah! And then ah! Yeah, it's fine. It just looks ridiculous with the camera cage in view. It looks like it flies great. Jesus. I really wish I hadn't taken the Vista out of it. Huh. Okay, well. Good. What is this? What is this? I can't. Where is that? Buffalo Bills? Look at this. What's that, on a 5-inch rig? Who flying at Buffalo Bills? Look at this gorilla shit. Oh, fuck you. You got to fly a goddamn roller coaster? Oh man, look at this! Look what a spot this is! What? Oh, fuck off! That's Rockahula. What? Who did I buy this from? Oh, that's not Rockahula. Might be. Looks like it, doesn't it? Look at all these spots. What the hell? I want to fly here. Come on now. This is bullshit. Well, cool. Nothing like stalking other people's flight footage. This is fine. This can go. And then, I mean, there's really nothing interesting in here. I can delete all this too. Neat. Okay, well, the AOS 3.5 flies awesome. The footage is totally worthless because of the camera cage in view, but, you know, whatever. Betaflight for the Grinderino. Okay, and... these on my head anymore. Great Scott says, I recognize that. Was that you flying? Okay. Oh, wow. Betaflight 4.1.6. Yikes. That would more than likely mean I haven't done anything to this. Yeah, it's got TBS Smart Audio turned on and UART 3. Oh, shit. God only knows what UART I have this on. Oh, you dummy. Why didn't you set up Betaflight when you got done with the build, you jackass? Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to take the top plate off. That was the big dumb. Don't be like me, kids. As soon as you get done with... Before you put the top plate on, set Betaflight up. What a stupid idea that was. It was probably on a stream. I like got done building it. I was like, all right, I'm done. I'll fix it. I'll set up Betaflight afterwards. And then instead I went and played DayZ. I can all but guarantee you that's what happened. Okay. Alright, so top plate coming off. I Loctited the top plate screws. That was kind of cool. Okay. Here we go. And so Walksnail is on. Man, I can't read this silk screening. Walksnail is on UART number 1. All right. And then the... Do I have ELRS in here? I do! Look at me go! ELRS is on UART 3. UART 1 and UART 3. Okay, so UART 1, we're going to go to Configuration MSP. Oh, well, I guess it doesn't really matter. And then, oh, I already had it. UART 3. So I'm just going to do this. I have to put a newer version of Betaflight on here anyway, but okay, so that's fine. So that... What? Why did it delete everything? The fuck? It killed the... What? Whatever. It's... Out of curiosity, though. Wow, that's weird. I never did anything on this. Okay, this is a... Yeah, okay, I never did anything. All right, there's nothing to pull over in the diff. It's fine. So we are going to auto detect Talon F7 V2 4.5.0 load firmware online CRSF Dshot great flash firmware. Ignore the risk. I have nothing on here. All right, cool. County FPV says, I think upping the voltage fixed it. Didn't jitter this time. That's been driving me crazy for a few days. You're the man. Thank you. You're welcome, brother. Yeah, that's one of the pains in the ass about high volt batteries, is that can happen. And so, yeah, the flight controller thinks it's 2S, but then it's getting like no voltage for 2S, and it just gets like super confused, and it's just like throws its hands up like, I don't know what to do here. Bob Bruce says you don't have to hold the power button before updating. You can throw the file on there, hold the button and update. Nathan Otis says, should you wear glasses? No, I actually have really good vision. It's just I used to have really good vision. My vision is not as good as it once was, but it's still pretty good. Like I don't. The only time I need magnification is when I'm looking at this tiny little shit, like really small. And if I sit here and like kind of do one of these, I can read it. But it's just easier to grab the loop, and then like what I'm worried about is that I think I see a 3 and it's actually a 2. Whereas with the 5X loop, it like you can see the molecules. All right, connect. Oh no, let's pull power. Let me get this. Let me get the. Let me bind the receiver. So this is a Beta FPV ELRS module. I wonder how you put it in a bind mode. There is a button on it. Well, I just hit the button. Didn't do anything. Let me hold the button. Holding the button seems to have put it into bind mode. Let's see. Bind mode on the module. No, what actually happened is it went into Wi-Fi mode, I think. All right, let me hold the button. I'll plug power in. See if maybe that's it. Solid blue. Let go of the button. Bind mode on the module. Press to send bind. It's solid blue. Let's try the other module. This is an older ELRS module, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's on 2.5. Version 2.5, I should say. Okay, Express LRS. Packet rate, TX power, bind mode, press to send bind request, binding. Let's see. Come on, little buddy. No, it's still solid blue, though. I wouldn't think that solid blue is binding mode. So let's try the plug and unplug 3 times thing. Once. Twice. 3 times. Oh, that's totally put it into bind mode. Okay. It's doing the double flash thing. Press to send bind request. Binding. Solid blue. That's a good sign. Binding. Some beeps. Excellent. Wonderful. We are bound. Transmitter, you can hang out for a minute. Betaflight is now good to go. Let's connect. Hey, awesome. Let's calibrate. Let's accelerate the calibrometer. All right, that's good to go. Receiver tab. No. Huh. Oh, right. Ports. So it was UART3 that's on serial, UART1 that's on Walksnail, and then we're going to come in here, put this to MSP DisplayPort, save and reboot. We should now have motion in the receiver ocean. We do indeed. And we're going to go to TAER and stick low 1,000, stick high 2,000, 4 points of deadband, not 40, just 4. So let's save that. Cool. Now I can turn off the transmitter. Awesome. All right. Fresh setup here. So ports tab is good to go. Configuration. I wonder if I still have the OSD shit in the clipboard. Let's paste. I do. Amazing. Oh, what was that? Hold on. CLI. Paste. Enter. There it is. Save. Awesome. That was really nice. Cool. So the OSD is now in there. Configuration. This is an F7, so we can leave it on 8K PID loop. Maximum arming angle 180, which basically turns it off. LED strip we do not need. OSD air mode good. Dshot beacon, we want to turn both of these on so that we can use the ESC beeper, and that's all good to go. Okay. This is the Wacky Talon flight controller, so we need to have this user 1 thing turned on. Oh, but I need to add that from the goddamn CLI, don't I? Fuck. Well, let's just set up our modes first. ARM, aux1, all the way up. Horizon, aux2, all the way down. Beeper, aux3, all the way down. And then we've got a little bit of black box, aux2, all the way towards me. Flip over after crash, aux3 right in the middle. And then for funsies, launch control, aux2 in the middle. Save that. Okay. So then we're going to do some presets. This is on Express LRS, but it's on the old module, which for some reason I have on 500. So we're going to do that. And then serial, single cell, pick. What's up, Dead Chicken? Save and reboot. All right, awesome. What else do we have? Power and battery. Let's just take a quick look. Maximum cell voltage. This is what I was talking about. The maximum cell voltage by default is 4.3. So if you hook up a high volt battery that's 4.35, it's going to think it's an additional cell of voltage, and it's going to get all kinds of confused. So if you plan on running high volts on your rigs, at the very least move this to 4.4. You can even move it up to 4.5. I'm not going to run high volts on this, so I'm going to leave it at 4.3. PID tuning. Let's just do a really gentle, basic PID tune to get this kind of started. This is where this is my starting PID tune. If it won't fly with the PIDs like this, I ain't happy, and I'm probably going to hit it with a hammer. Okay, this is all looking fine. Let's save that. Put my rates on here. 40, 700, and 0.7, which is the real magic to my rates. Lots and lots of expo. All right, great. Receiver is good to go. Modes are good to go. Adjustments, what the hell? OSD profile selection, aux2, great. Motors tab, let the fun begin. I'm gonna put full 4S voltage to this, maybe for the first time. Don't explode! Thank you for not exploding. Let's reorder the motors first, make sure they're in the right spots. Well, that's not good. No motors are spinning. Oh yeah, okay. So there's some ESC nonsense going on. What? All right. So let's disconnect from here. It's powered up. So let's see what. Interesting. Let's power cycle it. Let's power cycle it all the way. Okay. USB. Plugging in. I have no idea what ESC this is on here. All right. Now we're powered up. Betaflight, connect, read settings. Failed reading ESC4. This is a BL Heli 32 ESC as well, isn't it? Look at my fancy ass. Oh, this is another SpeedX GS24. Cool. All right, so we're going to connect. And... we're going to check. Okay. 32.7. That's a pretty old version, but I mean, there's no reason that it shouldn't have connected at all. But we might as well update it. Let's update it. I'm going to put the gangly fan back on, and we're going to give this thing some time. No reason to not just update real quick. All right. What's happening over here, chat? What's happening over here, Chad? I'm pretty caught up, I guess. Nathan Otis, his question earlier was, do you use any fluff on your action cams to kill wind noise? So instead of calling it fluff, what they've been referred to for a long time, which is just absolutely hysterical, is dead cats. And if you don't believe me, which I wouldn't believe you for not believing me, Mike dead cat. See? Told you. They're called dead cat because they look like dead cats. Yeah, I mean, calling them like a wind muff or a wind muffler is probably a better choice, but in the industry, we lovingly call them dead cats. Which is, like, as FPV pilots, we're the only ones in the world that would be like, wait, but we use dead cat already for the frame geometry when the front arms are swept back, which is very weird. There's probably no other hobby on Earth that actually, other than audio that uses dead cat for anything other than this. But yeah, interesting tidbit for you. Interesting tidbit for you. Boy, the BLA32 takes a shockingly long time to flash here. I have no idea why it wasn't spinning the motors up. There's nothing wrong with 32.7, which is the version of BLA32 that's on here. I don't think this is going to fix it. What's interesting is that the only thing I can think of is that I wired the plugs up wrong. But if I'd wired the plugs up wrong, it wouldn't be able to update right now. So I have absolutely no idea why it wouldn't spin the motors a minute ago. Everything seemed to be set up right. Cole Power says in economics is so... Oh, Jesus. Really? There's such a thing as dead cat bounce. The fuck? Alright, I stand corrected. It's not just FPV that weirdly uses dead cat. Jesus. What's the obsession with dead cats, people? Come on. It's not very kind. Alright, come on. BLA32, hurry up. This is ridiculous. It's 12:48. Come on. Yeah, there you go. Successful. Okay, so now we're going to come back to ESC setup. We are going to... Everything's already set up. Beacon delay is a little bit too long. Let's bring that down to 2 minutes-ish. Low is 24. High is 24. Let's go up to 24:48. All right. And we are going to write the setup. Brake on stop is turned on. Great. Startup beep nice and low. Beacon signal nice and high. Good to go. Disconnect. All right. So we are going to... 1 second. And pull power. And pull USB. Quit out of BLA32. Get back into Betaflight. USB first. Then power. And now hopefully it'll spin the motors. If it doesn't, we've got bigger issues. Fuck. Okay. Well. Oh, bidirectional Dshot's not turned on. That still shouldn't... That shouldn't be causing this. Nah, that ain't good. I've never had that happen before. Bueller? What the hell's going on here? Alright, power cycling. USB plugged back in, giving it power. Okay. That's a good sign. Motors. Now let's just come down here. Let's just see if we can get these to spin. Hey! And the motors are in the wrong spot. So, okay. Good. Reorder motors. Please work. Now it's fine. Wow, that's weird. So that is right front. And now that is left front. That's weird. That's right rear. And then that's left rear. What weird-ass configuration do I have this ESC in to have the motors in those locations? That's super strange. Connect. And motors. We are going to change the motor direction. Wizard. Start and spin. Here we go. Motor. Why is that only spinning one motor? Oh man, something's fucked up here. It's only spinning one motor and it's spinning it the wrong way, so let's fix it. Why aren't the rest of the motors spinning? What the hell? This ain't good. Yeah, only motor one is spinning. What the fuck? What? What is going on here? Okay, let's... No, look, yeah, motors 2, 3, and 4 are showing 100% error. But they were working a minute ago. What the fuck? Okay, let's pull power one more time. This is these are a whole bunch of things that I've never seen before, which is never good. Motor poles are set correctly, but that even if they weren't, that would not cause these problems. This is almost like resource related, but now all of a sudden it's fine. Oh boy, that is weird, dude. Okay, stop motors. Motor direction, I understand the risks. Wizard. Now it's fine. Oh my god, this is strange, dude. Motor 1 is incorrect. Let's reverse it. Now it's correct. Motor 2 is correct. Motor 4 is incorrect. Let's reverse it. Motor 3 is correct. Stop motors. Close. This fucking thing's gonna fall out of the sky. Mark my words. Motor poles 14. Bidirectional is turned on. Dshot 600. Let's go down to... Nah, let's leave it on Dshot 600. You know what? This might be a CPU load problem. This might be a PC load letter problem. See this? That's a little too high. That is a little bit too high. Let us get that under control by going down to 4K PID loop. I would rather have 4K. This is an F7 processor. It should be able to handle 8K Dshot 600, but with these new versions of Betaflight, they keep adding more and more stuff. So, yeah. And I would rather not go down on Dshot. So going down on the PID loop frequency is preferred if you have to go down on one of these. So now it should be fine. I'm probably not going to be able to... Oh, now all of a sudden motor 2 is not working again. What the fuck? Yo, something is fugged up here. Something ain't right on this thing. I think this ESC might just be on its way out or some strange shit like that. These motors were making a hell of a noise a second ago, though. Let's come in here and spin these motors up one by one and see what happens. Whoa, motor 1 sounds like shit. Oh, there's a huge delay. These motors are beat, dude. Motor 2 is beautiful, though. The bearings are fucked on some of these motors. Oh, motor 4 is rough. There's no air. There's no real air showing up here. Interesting. Look at it monitoring the temperature of the motor. Oh, no, that's the temperature of the ESC. I was going to say, how the fuck does it know the temperature of the motors? This is acting really weird, so I'm going to very carefully fly this thing. But let's pull power. Everything is now set up properly. I don't think this ESC is long for this world, but that's okay. I'll blow it up and swap it out. But yeah, something ain't right with this ESC. So I have a feeling that this thing is going to explode. But yeah, these Xnova 1804s I've pounded the shit out of. The one in motor number 2 is obviously a newer one. Oh, it's not. It's just a new bell. Yeah, the bell says it's 31 kV rather than 35. I think I remember switching that bell out. Although, you know, I should... Let me just make sure that these motors are all the same kV. So the way that you do that is by looking at the RPM here. So fire this up, and then you just go full bananas, and you look at the RPM, and you make sure each motor is roughly the same. So 53,000. Fuck, 46,000. 53,000. 53,000. Shit. Motor number 2 really is a lower kV. God damn it, Jim. And that basically makes all of the motors that lower KV, which sucks. That has nothing to do with the other problems that I've been having with this. So yeah, I'm still gonna need to be careful with this thing. But most of the other stuff I think is good to go. So I just need to, hopefully I have another Xnova 1804 in 3500 kV. I might not. But let's just check everything else so that this guy is ready to go. Black box, debug mode. We want this in gyro scaled. All right. And save and reboot. And then I want to put the I want to get the PID sum cranked up in here, just so that the tune has a little bit more chutzpah. PID sum is how much power the PID loop is allowed to ask for. And by default, it's only allowed to ask for about half of the amount of power that's available. It typically doesn't need more than that, but in case it does, you can turn up the PID sum value. I turn it all the way up to 1,000, which is the same as 100%. So, okay, what haven't we checked? I guess I haven't been in here. Yeah, let me open the failsafe up a little bit. Hold on. Yep, there we go. 3 seconds instead of 1.5. Kind of sketchy to do that, but it'll be fine. Presets. I think I already did this, right? Pretty sure I already did the presets. I'll be able to tell in here. Yep. Already did the presets. Okay, cool. So PID tuning. Yep, put a little intro tune on. Rate profiles, we did that. Filter settings, let's be... Nah, fuck it. We'll run proper filters. Crank that one all the way up. And just bring the max frequency up a little bit. I won't go any farther with the filters. Receiver modes, we're good. Adjustments, we're good. Oh, nope. Adjustments were not good. Let's add this back in real quick. A little clean OSD kind of setup. Don't really need it, but what the hell. Okay, motors, we went through that. OSD, I think I copied it in. Yep, that looks fine. Make sure, no, the warnings aren't on. Come on now. So weird. Oh, you bastard. Okay, there we go. Come on. There we go. Okay, warnings are now turned on. Put it on top of disarmed and turn disarmed off. That's such a stupid thing to have in there, in my opinion. All right, disarmed is now turned off. All right, that's good. Move these warnings over a little bit more. Okay. And that is it. This rig is set up. I am going to see if I have another one of these motors in the proper KV. I can't believe I missed that. That's kind of annoying. But whatever. I'm glad that I caught it before I put this thing up in the air and was like, what the fuck? It's got no goddamn power. Me. So there it is, my friends. There's how I set up Betaflight on most rigs. Damon says, did you see or answer my question about dynamic idle earlier? If not, I'll copy and paste. I did not. But dynamic idle, what could your question have been? Probably related to like what value. Oh, here we go. So on Discord, someone mentioned dynamic idle should be avoided on 1 to 2S due to unstable behavior. Do you still run dynamic idle in 65? Brandon's Baked Beans told me that last week at some point, and I've been turning it off. I've previously been running it, and it's been completely fine. But yeah, I'm now turning it off. So yeah, but every single one of my rigs has had it on forever. And I've never had an issue with it. So I don't know. Maybe it's a rare thing. But yeah, I've been turning it off, and I haven't really seen any I haven't really been paying attention to a difference in flight characteristics, but nothing jumped out at me. So yeah, I've been turning it off now. Kevin Sumner says, weird, it's working now. Flight controller has ghosts. I think the flight controller is fine. I think it's the ESC. I think the ESC is weird, because this is the Talon F7, and I've run these flight controllers forever, and they've never done anything weird. These SpeedX GS27 ESCs have done plenty of weird shit, so I'm going to blame them. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Kevin. Kevin says, only time I've seen this when resource mapping for the motors is messed up. But yeah, like, if it was messed up, it just wouldn't work. It's weird that it's intermittent like this, which is what... Yeah, I don't know. This is odd, but whatever. We'll put it up in the air. Hopefully the ESC doesn't catch on fire. Hopefully it just acts horrible, and then I'll swap it out and throw it in a goddamn river. So yeah, the Grinderino is ready to fly. Maybe if the weather is not total shit tomorrow, which it's supposed to be total shit tomorrow, I'm gonna probably put this up in the air on this 4S500 that I charged, and we'll see if that battery is totally dead to the world, and or if this quad is dead to the world. Kevin Sumner with the last comment of the live stream. He says, it's an old ass SpeedX. Yeah, time to light that ESC on fire before it spontaneously combusts. I have not had issues with the GS25s catching on fire. I've just had issues with them letting go, or just like dropping arms and stuff like that. So hopefully it doesn't catch on fire. I doubt that it will. If it does, that sucks to be me. If it does, that'll be 3 quads that have caught on fire this year. It fucking better not. Let's really just poke the bull in his side and see if he horns us. Let's set ourselves up for as many quad fires as possible. All right, man. Thanks for hanging, my friends. Hold on. Let me do one last thing. I want to take a look at how much top plate is in view with this camera, and I'll let you guys know how much. I completely forgot. What's up, Apache Smoke? How are you, dude? I completely forgot that I wanted to screw around with these differently offset camera mounts. But all I have to do is pull the top plate off for that. So hold on. But maybe these mounts that I have, the mounts that I used, do push the camera pretty far forward. So let's just take a quick look. Because maybe there's no top plate in view right now, and then I don't have to screw around with anything. But I bet you there is. Come on. Come on, Walksnail. You can do this. Give me a picture. Give it to me. Give me! Come on! Uh-oh. It was working a minute ago. Uh-oh. What? What the hell? What changed? There's no light on the VTX. Sometimes when you plug these in, they just don't, for no reason at all. Oh, it's that user one shit getting me, isn't it? Oh, you dirty rat bastard, you. These Talon flight controllers require this weird... It's their pit mode switch. It has to do with their weird ass pit mode switch. Yo, I don't know where I'm gonna find. It's something that you have to drop into the CLI. Oh my god. Fuck. Talon flight controller user 1 CLI. Come on, Google. Come on. Hook a brother up. Hook a brother up, Google. Yeah. Oh. Mode tab. No. You can't. It's not that easy. No, it's not that easy. Get FPV. No, VTX pit. No, it's this weird user one shit. Come on, baby. Be there for me. find user. Nope. Shit. Well, maybe it is. Maybe I can just do that. I've always done it with this weird CLI command. Oh, there it is. RC Mumbai's got my back. But let's, just out of curiosity, let's take a quick look. So like right now, the VTX pit is off. So VTX control disable. Let's just go aux1, whatever, and we'll open it all the way up and save it. And so that's oh no, that's not the one. That's not the one. Here it is. VTX pit mode. Add range, aux1, whatever. Open it up the full range because I don't actually want to use it. I want it on all the time. Okay, so that's there. So now let's pull power and we'll give it battery voltage. And it's either on or off. I think I have it set to off. So I need it to, okay. So I need it to be the other way around. I need it to be always off. So we're going to make the range real small in the middle. So connect, and then, nope, not motors, modes. Okay, so VTX pit mode, we're just going to like, just right in the middle where the switch won't go, and then we'll save. And so now it's never going to enable pit mode because that switch is going to go from all the way low to all the way high. Save, disconnect, pull power, battery voltage. Turn on VTX, you jerk off. Yeah, no, see, it's this weird CLI command that you have to do. I've been down this road before. It's this weird, like, user one CLI thing that you need. Oh my god, FPV is just the greatest, isn't it? Isn't this the best, guys? Aren't you so happy that you didn't like take up golf where you could just buy a fucking stick and smack a stupid ball around a stupid piece of grass? What? Here we go. Yeah. Resource pin IO. That's it. Yep. Here it is. Resource pin IO 1 A14. That sounds very, very familiar. So we're gonna dump that in. Resources set to A14. We're gonna save. And now if I go into the modes tab, it should have this weird user one option. Or not. Fuck. Well, let's just give it power and see if it lights up the VTX. It does not. Shit sticks. Come on, man. Kevin Sumner says, the mode you need is user one. It is indeed, but it's not here. There's something you have to do in the CLI to turn that shit on. I thought it was that. I thought it was this right here. Shit balls. There's this pin IO. I feel like there's supposed to be like one more. Oh, did I not save? No, I hit save, didn't I? I hit save. Let's go into diff and then look at the resources. Resource pin IO. Yep, nope, it's in there. Resource pin IO 1 A14. Fuck. Maybe a flash time option now. What the hell does that mean? Oh, a forum post. Look at that. Oh, but it's not. That's not what I want. God damn it, Jim. Where is it? It used to be on all the product pages. What if I remove the space? What if I... Ah, yeah. Nope. Talon flight controller, user 1. Let's do VTX instead of CLI. Yeah. Here we go. User 1 mode. Yeah. Find user. Yeah. Are you saying that to turn off pit mode, you should have the user 1 set to always on modes tab? Oh, come on. How do you get the goddamn screenshot coming, Discord, live stream live? How the hell did you find it? Live stream live. Other options, pin IO. Oh, fuck off. In the firmware flasher, I can't possibly turn that on the firmware flasher. That's bullshit. I've always been able to do it in the CLI. God. Please. GitHub. Yeah. That's not. That's a different flight controller. It's Z's. This is it though. It's similar to this. User box user 1 name VTX switch, some shit like this. Set box user 1. Come on. Well, I know it's in here. Maybe in the description he's got the thing in the place. Oh, gee, Joshua. Wait. Oh, does he have a picture of the... It used to be on the damn product pages. You know, it was on the Heli Direct project pages. Yeah, there it is. There's user 1. But where's the... I need that goddamn CLI command. Come on, man. Maybe somebody's got it in the comments. Oh my god, this is brutal. Pit mode, hex file. Come on. Yeah. Ooh. Oh. Well, wait, I wonder if now that I have the pin IO dropped into the thing, if I can just use that, here, hold on, let's see. Modes. I wonder if that pin IO resource shit that I just did will make the VTX pit mode work. Because I'm pretty sure I still don't have user 1 in here right now. So, VTX pit mode, let's open this up like that so that it's on. Just make sure that user 1's not in here. Up top somewhere. It's usually on the bottom. Okay, no, it's not. But let's try this. This is worth a shot. Okay, here and here. Come on, you rat bastard. Send power to the effing VTX, you jerk. I didn't change what? Stars and Stripes. God damn it. Oh, you bastard. Here it is. This is the full CLI command. Oh, thank God for YouTube. Thank God for Joshua Bardwell. There it is. That's the one. That'll turn on user 1 in the modes tab, I think. Yay! I win, you dirty whores. And now let's turn off VTX pit mode, save, and magically now, when I put power to this goddamn thing, the light on the VTX will still not turn on, but I think it needs like a second, maybe. Oh, you bastard! Ah, green light. I might not have been. I might not have been waiting long enough. I gotta be honest. It took a while for that green light to turn on. Oh man, I very well might not have been waiting long enough. That VTX pit mode thing might have been. Yeah, it might have been working. All right, now let's see how much top plate there is in the FPV view. Almost none. None. What? Ah, it's because it's on 16:9. I bet you if I switch it to 4:3, the way that I like it. How do I do that? Camera. Ratio. There it is. 4:3. Okay, so the top. All right, I'm gonna put my hand here, where the top is, and then, okay, change it to 4:3 full, and then we're gonna change it to. What the hell just happened? Camera. Regular 4:3. Wow. Yeah, there is a little. There's not. No shit. All right. So the wow. And in 16:9, there's no reduction in vertical field of view. That's really nice. Screw it. I'll run it in 16:9. Because there's more. Yeah. Okay. Good to go. Shit. All right. So yeah, these TPU camera mounts that I chose are pushing the camera far enough forward. And I also have a. Well, the up tilt would actually make the situation worse. So yeah, we're good. Sweet. Grinderino is good to go. This this ESC is gonna explode. But yeah, what's up, Fly High? How are you, brother? You're up late. Welcome to the Up Late Club. So I just need to take this lower KV motor off, and scrounge around for another 35,000 KV X Nova. That's it. Grinderino's good to go. I'll throw some props on it. Look, the best 3-inch props of all time. T-Motor 3140s are going to be what's going on this. This is going to be the basher of all bashers. So yeah, very excited to put this up in the air, hopefully tomorrow, and then the ESC will burst into flames, and I can have 3 rigs in 2024 that have caught on fire, so it'll be great. Thanks for hanging, friends. My name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Captain, blows his quads up. CiottiFPV.com to support the insanity. This is my full-time job. I do rely on support from you beautiful bastards to keep food in the children's mouths. You don't want them to starve to death, do you? Thanks, friends. This is what the Grinderino will look like with propellers on it. I run 3-inch propellers because 3.5-inch propellers are too floaty. That's what it looks like. Love you, bye! Here's some flying. I'll see you guys in like a week and a half. Wednesday of next week for sure, I'll see you. Maybe Monday of next week. Those of you that are going to Rampage, I'll see you there. Bye-bye, friends. Thanks for hanging. Still not ready. Here's my Rampage crash edit without the audio, but this is the edit that I entered into the Rampage Community Spotlight competition for in the crashes category. Come on, you rat bastard. Open! Work! You guys are gonna love this. If you don't love this, you are a soulless bastard. Love you guys, bye.